Good morning, everybody, and welcome to UWS Women's Softball here on 91.3 FM KUWS and on Yellow Jacket TV, where it's the pregame show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce as the Yellow Jackets playing games 2 and 3 of their UMAC Conference Series here against Crown. The two final home games of the 2026 season already for head coach Melissa Fracker against the Crown Polars here. The Yellow Jackets and the Polars meeting up for the second and third times, as I mentioned this season. UWS coming into this senior day doubleheader, sitting at 18 and 13 overall, 8 and 5 in the UMAC. Melissa Fracker in her sixth season at the helm of the Yellow Jacket program, 161 wins and 79 losses. Her record at the helm of the Yellow Jacket softball program. They're coming off of a win in Game 1 of this series yesterday, defeating Crown by the score of 14-5 in the opening game of this series. That was a game that was played here on NBC Sports Complex in Superior. Yours truly had the call on Yellow Jacket TV in that one. In that contest, the Yellow Jackets wasted no time in taking control, rallying back from an early 1-0 deficit after just one half inning to score 3 times in the bottom of the first before adding 9 more in the bottom half of the second to take a 12-1 lead after 2. The Polars went on to score once in the third to come within 12-2, but UWS added 2 more in the fourth for a 14-2 lead heading into the fifth. Crown concluded the scoring with 3 runs in the top half of that inning, but the Yellow Jackets still managed to win by a run rule by that final of 14-5. The Polars taking that 1-0 lead in the top of the first when Maria Lilienthal singled home Emmy Rom-Portal, who had led off the game with a double. But the Yellow Jackets came back in the bottom of the first. Consecutive singles from Peyton Bennett and Carly Stuckmeyer were followed up by Larissa Snyder's 2-run triple that gave the Jackets a 2-1 lead. Mackenzie Lesha then drove in Snyder with an RBI single to give UWS a 3-1 lead after 1. And then in the second, RBI singles from Peyton Bennett, Samantha Swartz, Sophia Otto, and Larissa Snyder, along with a bases-clearing 3-run double to right center from Lesha, made it 12-1 after 2. A throwing error from UWS allowed Sophie Monsman to score the third run in the third, to cut the deficit to 12-2. But the Jackets came right back in the fourth when Jade Colby's sac fly to left scored both Megan Witt and Kylie Hawksprung to make it a 14-2 Jacket lead. The Polars then conclude the scoring with a 3-run fifth off reliever Samantha Swartz when Lilienthal doubled home Rom-Portal to make it 14-3 before Brooklyn Ocker singled home Brenna Tyson and Caitlin Garza to make it a 14-5 final. For the game yesterday, UWS finished with 15 hits, getting 2 hits apiece from Bennett, Snyder, Lesha, Karen Balaban, and Kylie Zwak. Meanwhile, Crown had 9 hits as a team and were paced by Rom-Portal, who finished the game with 3 hits, while Lilienthal had 2 hits for the Polars in the contest. Abby Mitchell, meanwhile, got the win in the circle for UWS, pitching the first 4 innings, allowing 1 earned run on 5 hits while walking 2 and striking out 3. Rom-Portal took the loss in the circle for Crown, pitching the first 1 1/3 innings while allowing 8 earned runs on 11 hits while walking 2 without a strikeout. Megan Cryer finished up in the circle for the Polars, pitching the final 2 2/3 innings. And with that loss, Crown fell to 18 and 16 overall and 5 and 11 in the UMAC. So that's what happened yesterday between the Yellow Jackets and the Polars. And with that being the case, we'll take a quick break before we come back with the opening pitch of this contest between the Yellow Jackets and Crown. That's coming up in a couple minutes. This is UWS Softball on 91.3 FM, KUWS Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. Matt Johnson back here at the NBC Sports Complex here in Superior. Game 1 of 2 here. Game number 2, by the way, is scheduled to start at about 1 p.m. It'll be about a half hour or so after the conclusion of this first game here. Of course, that's a tentative start time, so usually we're a little bit later than that, but we'll keep an eye on that one as well. Again, it's senior day here for the Yellow Jackets. We'll talk more about the senior class. 5 seniors being honored here today for UWS. And in the circle for the Jackets here in game number 1, as it was yesterday in game number 1 of the series overall, is going to be Abby Mitchell for the Yellow Jackets, making her 25th appearance of the season, her 20th start of the campaign. 94 in the third innings pitch, 117 hits given up, 54 runs, 42 which have been earned. She's walked 20 and struck out 67. Her record now 10-8, her ERA 3.12. And she'll be pitching to the Yellow Jackets starting catcher here. One of the seniors, Larissa Snyder, will set the Yellow Jacket defense for you when we get a moment. In the meantime, stepping in is Emmy Romportal for Crown. Romportal, who got the start in the circle yesterday, hitting .345 on the season, no home runs, 19 driven in. It seems like Romportal's been playing for Crown for a very long time. That's because she has been a 4-year contributor. As today's opening pitch, sponsored by Barker's Island Inn, is in there for a strike, and we are underway. Thank you for joining us here on this Saturday morning for Yellow Jackets softball. Final 2 home games for UWS this season. 0-1 your count, and here's the next pitch. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Carly Stuckmeyer coming over from third base in foul territory. She'll make the catch. And there's 1 up and 1 down here for Crown in the top half of the first. Yellow Jacket defense, Snyder behind the play, as I mentioned, around the infield from left to right. It's Stuckmeyer over at third. Freshman Kylie Zwak at short, Sophia Otto out at second, and over at first base, Samantha Sports, another one of the seniors here for UWS. Meanwhile, the outfield, Peyton Bennett out in left, Mackenzie Lesh out in center, and Karen Balabon out in right. Stepping in now is Caitlin Garza for Crown to bat for the first time here in the doubleheader, hitting .298 on the season, no home runs, 8 RBIs. The Crown shortstop. Jackets in the midst of an 11-game winning streak in the all-time series with Crown. That dates back to 2022. As this pitch is swung on and popped foul back toward my location here in the press box behind home plate. And is now 0-2 here to Garza. Jackets after today will have 5 road games before the UMAC tournament starts in the first full week of May. In the meantime, here's the pitch now from Mitchell, high and off the plate. Makes it now a 1-2 count. Crown as a team hitting .338 on the season. Opponents hitting .341 against Crown pitching, while the Yellow Jackets on the season hitting .332 as a team, while opposition hitting .313 against the Yellow Jackets this season, as this pitch is swung on and lifted foul off to the right again. And the count is holding at 1-2. 1-2 your count here, 1 down. Top half inning number 1. First of 2 between the Yellow Jackets and Crown here. Temperatures in the low to mid 40s. Cloudy skies here as we start play here today, although the wind is pretty calm at this moment in time as the next pitch from Mitchell rises high, and that evens up the count now at 2-2. Mitchell now looking in for the sign from Snyder. And here's the pitch. Low and away. And the count's been run full now to Garza with Maria Lilienthal on deck. Lilienthal, by the way, the top hitter in the UMAC this season, hitting even .500. Talk more about her in a second. 3-2 pitch. Meanwhile, forthcoming here from Mitchell, and it is inside corner, called strike 3. The first 2 are retired here. First strikeout of the game for Mitchell. 2 up and 2 down here in the top half of the first, and here's the aforementioned Lilienthal. 47 hits and 94 at-bats for Lilienthal. 3 home runs and 43 RBIs. Like I said, she's one of the top hitters in the conference. Had 2 hits yesterday in the Yellow Jackets' 14-5 win here on this field. As Mitchell kicks and delivers, and the first pitch comes inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. And she had a single and a double and 2 RBIs, 2 of the 5 RBIs that Crown put up yesterday came courtesy of Lilienthal. She and Ron Bortle, longtime members of this Crown softball squad. As this pitch is a check swing. Now under the direction of Terry Jones, who's in his 2nd season at the helm of the Crown program, standing down in the third base coach's box here as we begin play here today. 2-0 your count, 2 down. As on the pitch, here it is. That one catches the outside corner, and it's now 2-1 here to Lilienthal. Mitchell trying to set down the Polars in order here, top half of inning number 1. Mitchell now towing the rubber. Kicks and delivers, and this pitch over the outside corner, and that evens up the count now to Lilienthal at 2-2. So a good start here for Abby Mitchell, looking for win number 11 for her on the season. The Jackets entering looking for win number 19 here in game number 1. Crown also looking for their 19th win of the season in this one. As this pitch comes up, swung on, popped up, jammed her. Coming in now to make the catch is going to be the first base player, Samantha Swartz, for the Yellow Jackets, and it's a quick top half of inning number 1 for Crown as the Polars go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We played a half inning, and we'll keep it here. The Yellow Jackets coming to bat now for the first time here on Senior Day. Crown on their way into the field. New pitcher in this one for Crown. Yesterday it was Emmy Ron-Pearl that got the start. Today it's going to be Brooklyn Ocker who will get the start in the circle for the Polars. This is her 13th appearance of the season, 7th start. She's pitched 43 innings, given up 59 hits, 52 runs, 38 of which have been earned. She's walked 24 and struck out 17. Her record 3-3 in her ERA, 6.19. The Crown defense behind her, by the way. Doing the catching here today for Crown, it's Valles behind the plate over at third base, going from left to right. Lindsay Stapleton at third base. Playing shortstop today is Caitlin Garza. Out at second base is going to be Emmy Ron-Pearl, and over at first base, Maria Lilienthal, and then the outfield from left to right here for Crown. Out in left field, it is Savannah Gomomski. Out in center field for the Polars, it's going to be Sophie Mosman, and out in right field, it is Savannah Urbinski. While the Yellow Jackets getting ready to bat for the first time here on the afternoon, and leading it off, as always, for UWS, it is Peyton Bennett, the sophomore from South Dakota, comes in hitting .370 on the season for UWS. 5 home runs, 17 driven in. Leading the Yellow Jackets in at-bats and hits. And second on the team in stolen bases as the first pitch from Ocker is off the plate for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Peyton Bennett, Carly Stuckmeyer, and Larissa Snyder here due up against Ocker. Yesterday started in the field for Crown. Now she gets the start here, lefty. And her next pitch finds the outside corner. You up the count now, 1-1. So the Jackets retired Crown in order in the top half of this inning. Now the Yellow Jackets seeing what they can do on offense for the first time against Ocker as this pitch is low and away. 2-1 the count now to Peyton Bennett. Busy day up on campus, by the way, for those sports fans in and around the area here as this pitch is swung on and hit hard but foul up the right field line by Bennett. It's now a 2-2 your count. Men's and women's outdoor track and field for the first time ever hosting the Dan Conway Classic down the street at Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium. As here's the pitch. This one bounces up there and now has been run full at 3-2 here to Bennett with Stuckmeyer waiting on deck. Baseball team is on the road. They're taking on Crown as well. They have a doubleheader today scheduled for 1 and 3:30 p.m. As this pitch is outside, ball 4, and Bennett will sprint down the first base with a leadoff walk. And as I mentioned, she's definitely a threat to steal. 16 out of 18 in stolen bases for Bennett, and she's over at first base with nobody out. And here's Carly Stuckmeyer to bat. Stuckmeyer hitting at .319 on the season. She has 29 hits and 91 at-bats. No home runs, 17 driven in. And this pitch is swung on and hit hard to center field. Coming in, though, to make the catch will be the center fielder for Crown. That being Sophie Bondsman, and that is the first out of the inning. I'll bring up Larissa Snyder now for the Yellow Jackets, one of the 5 seniors. Native of Blaine, Minnesota. Hitting .356 on the season, 6 home runs, 31 driven in now. And here's the first pitch here, swung on and driven out in the right field. That'll get through for a base hit, and it'll go all the way to the fence. Rounding second, now rounding third is going to be Peyton Bennett. She'll come in and score. And going all the way now to third base with the RBI triple is going to be Larissa Snyder. Hit that ball right on the nose, did Snyder. Bennett scores all the way from first. Jackets take a 1-0 lead.
Center fielder number 23, Mackenzie Lesha.
And now here's Mackenzie Lesha to bat for the Yellow Jackets. First pitch to Lesha is out to play for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Lesha coming in today, hitting .314 on the season with 1 home run, 21 driven in for Lesha. 22 hits and 70 at-bats, and this pitch is swung on a ground to Stapleton at third. She scoops it up. She'll throw to first, and that will retire. Or did they call her safe? I don't know. Lesha's still standing over at first base. And, yeah, I thought she was out on that one. Stapleton knocked down the ball at third, then threw it over to first. Lilienthal able to grab it and then make the tag if nothing else. Coming home from third, by the way, was Snyder. So it'll be an RBI ground out on a 5-3 putout.
Samantha Swartz.
2 runs in the inning. Now 2 out, and here's Samantha Swartz to bat. Swartz for the Yellow Jackets hitting .295 this season with no home runs, 14 driven in, 23 hits, and 78 trips for the native of Anago, Wisconsin. And the Yellow Jackets now, as this one is grounded now back up through the middle, picked up by Ron Portal. She'll throw to Lilienthal over at first, and that'll retire the Yellow Jackets on a 4-3 scoring play here in the bottom of the first. But not before the Yellow Jackets scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There were no Crown errors and nobody left on base. We've played 1 full inning of this one between the Yellow Jackets and Crown. Your score after 1, UWS 2, Crown nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back with the top of the second. Right for this is UWS Softball on 91.3 FM, KUWS Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. Valles to lead things off here for Crown in the top half of inning number 2. Yellow Jackets up 2-0. And the opening pitch from Abby Mitchell finds the outside corner, and it is 0-1 your count to Valles. Valles hitting in the number 4 hole, hitting at .359 for the season, 2 home runs and 31 driven in. As on 0-1, Mitchell kicks and delivers. Swung on and missed, and Mitchell's ahead in the count now 0-2. UWS looking again for their 12th straight win against Crown, going back to 2022. And up by 2 here as this pitch is swung on and fouled away off to the right. Oh, and 2 remains the count here. As Mitchell kicks and delivers, and this one is high off the plate to make it now 1-2. Abby Mitchell in her sophomore season played her high school softball down the I-35, about 35 minutes to the south at Carlton. One of the local products on this Yellow Jacket squad as this pitch is now low. Evens up the count now at 2-2. Hannah Hovland, of course, also local product for the Yellow Jackets. One of the seniors on the team this year will be honored today. 5 seniors in total on this senior day. Kylie Zwak, meanwhile, starting at short. Freshman from Duluth. So there's some local flavor on this squad as this pitch to Valles is swung on and bounced foul outside of third. And the count holds at 2-2. Kind of a mixture of both Wisconsin and Minnesota talent on this Yellow Jacket squad this season. Several two-sporters out there as well. We'll talk about them as the game moves on. Mackenzie Lesha out in center field, a two-sporter. Sophia Otto playing at second, also two-sporter for the Jackets here at UWS. As Mitchell kicks and delivers, this pitch is off the plate. And now she's running full at 3-2. Lesha Participated in a total of 4 NCAA tournaments, 2 with basketball and 2 with softball in her career. She's the first Yellow Jacket that we can think of that's been able to achieve that milestone. That was one that I ran by Ryan Castaneda, Director of Sports Information, and he couldn't think of anybody that had come close to achieving that. So congratulations to her. She's one of the 5 seniors that'll be honored as well. Meanwhile, the pitch is high to Valles for ball 4, so she's down at first base with a leadoff walk on 3-2, and that now brings up the pitcher, Brooklyn Ocker. Ocker hitting .337 with no home runs and 33 driven in. And the pitch Ocker swung on and hit a mile high to center. Speaking of Lesher, she's coming over. She'll make the catch. That's the first out of the inning. And Baez will stay at first base. Talked about Sophia Otto as well. She's a two-sporter, plays on the women's golf team here in the fall. And she wanted to extend a very warm welcome to her great-grandparents who are watching down in Arizona. So great-grandparents of Sophia Otto, you should know that your great-granddaughter's thinking of you, and we wanted to extend a very warm welcome to you watching down, like I said, in the Southwest. In the meantime, stepping in now is Lindsay Stapleton. Stapleton hitting .360 on the season, 6 home runs, 18 driven in. 32 hits and 89 trips. Crown as a team has hit 13 home runs this season. Jackets have hit 20. As this pitch comes over the inside corner. 1-1 your count. Flag to our right. Still pretty limp over there. It actually hasn't been all that windy all week. Jackets have had 3 previous games against Northwestern this week that they lost 2 out of 3 of them before beating Crown yesterday. As this pitch is swung on and missed. And now it's 2-2 here, or excuse me, 1-2 to Stapleton. 1 out, 1 on. Top half inning number 2. Jackets with 2 runs up on the board here so far. As Mitchell's pitch. Rise ball stays up and off the plate outside. 2-2 now your count. Waiting on deck is Megan Cryer. For Crown here on a 2-2 count. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Nice pitch there over the outside. Stapleton swung through it. Second strikeout for Abby Mitchell. 2 down now in the inning, and that now will bring up the aforementioned Cryer. Cryer hitting at .301 on the season, 25 hits and 83 trips. For a .301 batting average, 2 home runs and 18 driven in. And Mitchell's first pitch comes up and in, and she swings through it. 0-1 your count. Crowd continuing to file in here. Pretty good crowd gathering here for senior day, despite the chilly temps outside on the field here. 0-1 pitch. Called strike over the outside corner, and it's now 0-2 your count. Mitchell, who's thrown well all week. Started 3 of the previous 4 games here. As this pitch is swung on and lifted foul off to the right. Started 2 of the 3 games against Northwestern, and then the game yesterday for UWS. We'll see if we see freshman Bethany Lewis before the game is out. Or the day is out, I should say. Lewis and Mitchell have been splitting time in the circle all season for Coach Fracker and company. As this pitch comes up and in, she swings through it, does Cryer. Second strikeout of the inning on a 1-2 count, and that brings an end to Crown's top half of inning number 2. As the Polars are down, scoreless after 2 innings. For Crown in the frame, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left aboard, and we head to the bottom half of the inning. We'll keep it here. Yellow Jackets in Crown. By the way, fans, if you can't get enough of the Yellow Jackets, tune in to Eye of the Swarm, the official podcast of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Join John Garver and myself throughout the years. We sit down with Yellow Jacket student athletes, coaches, and other guests. Eye of the Swarm is available on uwsyellowjackets.com/podcast, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcast. Jackets will be sending up Karen Balaban, Delaney Johnson, and Kylie Zwak here in the top or bottom half of inning number 2. UWS with 2 runs so far on the 1 hit. Crown so far through 2 innings hitless against Abby Mitchell. And as I mentioned, the conditions on the field pretty calm. It's a rarity at this time of the year to have the flagpole pretty limp to our right, although there are swirling winds on this field. So sometimes it can be a little deceiving what the flagpole is reading down the right field line. In the meantime, here's Karen Balabon to bat. Balabon, who's had a really good week for the Yellow Jackets. Now hitting .337 for the year, no home runs, 17 RBIs for the junior from Elk River, Minnesota, and she swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Made a diving catch yesterday in the 14-5 win that definitely qualified as a quote-unquote web gem. She also made a couple of really highlight reel defensive plays against Northwestern in that series early in the week. So as this pitch now catches the outside corner. And it's 0-2 here to Balabon. Here's the pitch. That one off the plate outside to make it now 1-2. Balabon, like I said, in her junior season now, has really solidified herself as the mainstay out in right field for UWS this season. As this pitch is swung on and tapped foul by Balabon. She had an unusual inside the park moment yesterday. She had a bunt single that turned into a 3-base throwing error, and she ran all the way around the bases to score a run yesterday. One-two pitch. Swung on and grounded back through the middle and into center field for a base hit. And Balabon leads off the bottom half of inning number 2 with a sharp single to center. Leadoff batter aboard, and that brings up freshman Delaney Johnson now for UWS. Johnson so far 18 for 40 this season in her freshman campaign, hitting .450. 2 home runs, 9 driven in. Balabon, who runs well over at first, has 7 for 8 for stolen bases. And here's the pitch to Johnson. She bunts it up the first base line. Lilienthal up with it, throws to second. Get Ron Partle. Meanwhile, advancing all the way to third will be Balabon. So the sacrifice completed. As Balabon wheels her way all the way from second to third. Johnson out on a 3-4 scoring play on the sack. And here's Kylie Zwak now, the freshman from across the bridge in Duluth. Zwak on the season hitting .354 with 1 home run, 13 driven in. And the first pitch skips by the catcher, Baez, and sliding home will be Balabon on the wild pitch. And the Jackets, just like that, have a run in here in the second. They now lead it 3-0. Ball 1, no strikes here to Kylie Zwak. And here's the pitch. And she swings and ropes one out in the left field. That'll be a base hit. Rounding first base is Zwak. She'll hold up there. And that now will bring up Sophia Otto. Again, extended greetings to her great-grandparents in Arizona who are watching. I had a chance to talk with your great-granddaughter before the game, and she was excited that you folks would be able to watch her play today. So Sophia Otto bats with 1 on, nobody, or 1 out in the inning, excuse me. Otto hitting .260 on the season with 1 home run, 9 driven in, 13 hits and 50 trips for the sophomore from Mequon, Wisconsin. Zwak over at first, and here's the pitch to Otto on 0-1, low for a ball. Now the snap throw from Baez down to first. Back in, standing up is Zwak. Otto, who hit the game-winning home run against Northwestern a couple days ago to make it a 5-4 Yellow Jacket win, stands in there now in a 1-1 count, and this pitch is low and away. 2-1 now your count. Otto, who has also solidified herself as the regular everyday second baseman for UWS, as this pitch is swung on and missed. And it's a 2-2 count now to Sophia Otto. Otto now on the 2-2 pitch. Here's the pitch to her. Swung on and fisted towards short. It's going to take a hop. Garza will shovel it to Ron Portal at second. That'll go as a fielder's choice as Otto reaches. 6-4 on the scoring play. 2 down in the inning, and now we flip to the top of the batting order for Peyton Bennett.
At plate number 9, Peyton Bennett.
Bennett for the Yellow Jackets, reigning UMAC Rookie of the Year last season. Walked and scored in the first. And the first pitch to her is tapped foul. Off to the left and back to the screen. 0-1 your count now to Bennett. Scored the Yellow Jackets' first run on an RBI triple by Larissa Snyder. Jackets scored twice that inning. And now this pitch bounces up. Otto will take off. She'll go to second. And I'm going to give her a stolen base on that one. She's going to take off anyway, I think. So that's the third stolen base in 3 tries for Otto. She's in scoring position now with 2 down. And this pitch misses somewhere up high. I don't know where. Looked like a pretty good offering there from Ocker, but home plate umpire said no. It's now 2-1 your count to the Yellow Jacket left fielder Bennett. 2-1 pitch. That one also high. 3-1 to Bennett. Carly Stuckmeyer would be next here for UWS in the second inning. Jackets with a run in. On 2 hits. And this pitch is swung on and hit down the left field line and foul. About 6 inches foul. Otto will return to second base here. So 3-2 with 2 down. Bennett, who had a couple of hits yesterday for UWS, awaits the offering. Here it is. That one bounces up there for ball 4. And they throw down, and they're going to get her out, but so off the walk. Taking off with it was Otto, so she gets caught stealing. Bennett technically drew the walk. I'm not sure how that works out. What's the scoring play on that, Cass?
So Bennett would get the walk, but then Sophia's out caught stealing.
All right, so now we got that clarified. For the Jackets in the bottom half of the second, a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We've now played 2 innings. We'll take a quick break and come back with the top of the third. Right after this, this is UWS Softball on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. It is Savannah Urbinski leading things off here for Crown, hitting 351 on the campaign. No home runs, 3 RBIs, A 1-1 count, by the way, here to Urbinski. As Mitchell deals here, and here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and Mitchell heading the count now 1-2. Mitchell so far has not given up a hit as of yet. She struck out 3, walked 1. And she's ahead in the count now 1-2 here to Urbinski. She'll be followed by Sophie Mosman, and then we'll flip to the top of the batting order for Emmy Ron Portal. Here in the top of the third for the Polars. And this pitch catches the outside corner. 3 straight strikeouts now for UWS starter Abby Mitchell. She now has 4 overall in the game. 1 up, 1 down here in the third. And that'll bring up now Sophie Mosman. Mosman hitting .250 on the campaign with no home runs and 11 RBIs. 1 up, 1 down here. Just 1 over the minimum so far for Abby Mitchell through 2 1/3 as this pitch is swung on and grounded to third. And they're going to call it foul. It was gloved there by Stuckmeyer. And it is a strike here to Mosman. Mosman got moved around quite a bit yesterday. Played in center field, then played in right field. And she bats here now on an 0-1 count against Abby Mitchell. And the 0-1 swung on and missed over the outside corner. And Mitchell's ahead in the count now 0-2. Mitchell for the Yellow Jackets. On 0-2, here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded out to second. Otto up with it. She'll throw to first, and the throw actually takes Swartz off the bag, so that'll be an E4. So one aboard with one down. Error on the throw by Otto, and that now will flip us to the top of the batting order for Emmy Romportal. Romportal 0 for 1 popped out to Carly Stuckmeyer in foul territory, leading off the game. Not back in the first inning. So Mosman on at first, Romportal at the plate. She squares around, and now the throw from Snyder sails into center field. And she took off with the pitch. Mosman then rounding second, going to third, and then picking up the ball and throwing it in was Mackenzie Lesha to take out Mosman at third. We'll see what the call is there. I think it's going to be a stolen base. An E, maybe. No, it won't be an error on the throw, I don't think. It'll be a stolen base for Mosman, which would be her 11th in 13 tries. Lesha backing up on the throw from Snyder that sailed out into center field, picked it up, and then threw down to third base. Stuckmeyer took the throw and then applied the tag to Mosman. And they're actually going to now wave it off and say that she's safe, and that's going to bring Melissa Fracker now out of the dugout. And now they are going to call her out. So I was right on the first call. It's going to be a stolen base and then a overthrow that's going to lead to a 8-5 putout as she tried to advance to third base. So that's how that ends up playing out. Evan Ludwig shaking his head over here at that one. So add it all up, and there are 2 out now for Romportal. And I believe the first pitch to Romportal was a ball. Second pitch is also a ball, I think. It's 2-0, isn't that? 1-1. Okay, it's the 1-1 count. Okay, 1-1 is the count. Conferring with everybody up here, trying to keep track of everything that's just happened. All right, 1-1 the count. And here's the pitch to Romportal. Swung on and lifted foul off to the left and out of play. And now it's 1-2. Some confusion, I think, on that call at third. I wasn't quite sure what happened there. Looked like she was clearly out from up here. I wasn't quite sure, but everybody up here seems to agree, so we'll go with that. 1-2. And here's the pitch. Swung on and tapped foul off to the left. I will say this, that was about as quick out of the dugout as I've seen Melissa Fracker in a while. She came out of there very quickly when they looked like they were going to call her safe at third. Anyway, it's 1-2, 2 out. Romportal batting with nobody on base here. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Abby Mitchell has it working here so far today. Mitchell now has 5 strikeouts through 3 innings, hasn't given up a hit. And Crown is down in the top half of the third. For the Polars in the top half of the inning, no runs, no hits. 1 Yellow Jacket error, and nobody left aboard. We'll head to the bottom half of this inning, and we'll keep it here as usual. Your score 3-0 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. UWS today, like I said, looking for wins number 19 and 20 if they can get them both. In the meantime, fans, get the same gear the Yellow Jackets wear by visiting the Yellow Jackets Sideline Store. Browse the latest styles of gear, including shirts, hats, sweatshirts, outerwear, and more. The Yellow Jackets Sideline Store can be found at uwsyellowjackets.com/shop as Brooklyn Ocker completing her warm-up tosses here in the bottom half of the third. UWS looking for their 12th straight win against Crown, as I've mentioned before. Other teams in action, by the way. Congratulations to women's tennis and winning their 3rd straight UMAC Conference North Conference crown. Yesterday they defeated Crown 7-0. Yellow Jackets, by the way, made the clean sweep in conference play, won all 35 matches that they played against UMAC Conference foes, and won all 5, 7 matches to nothing. They're now off to the UMAC Conference Tournament. Well, they will take on the South Division second place team. That'll be next week. Meanwhile, softball today is against Crown. Baseball doubleheader against Crown down in the Twin Cities metro area. Men's tennis on the road taking on Bethany Lutheran today. As the first pitch from Ocker to Carly Stuckmeyer, who leads off for the Jackets here in the bottom of the third, is a sharp single to left. She'll be aboard. Third straight inning, the Yellow Jackets have gotten the leadoff batter aboard. Stuckmeyer now 1 for 2 in the ballgame. And here's Larissa Snyder to bat. Snyder for the Yellow Jackets, 1 for 1 with an RBI triple. Taking off is Stuckmeyer with the pitch, and she will slide into second base. Still perfect in stolen bases this season now after that swipe. Stuckmeyer now 18 out of 18 in stolen bases. She's in scoring position with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Want to know your count to Snyder. Here's the pitch. Took a little off it over the outside corner, and that evens up the count now at 1-1 here to Snyder. As Ocker kicks and delivers. Swung on and hit. Foul to the left-hand side. Got a little under it. 1-2 now to Snyder. She'll be followed by Mackenzie Lesha here. UWS looking for their 9th conference win of the campaign here. And this one will skip by Valles. Going up to third now on the wild pitch will be Stuckmeyer, so there she is. 60 feet away from home plate here with nobody out and a 2-2 count to her teammate, Larissa Snyder. Ocker's pitch on the way. Here it is. Swung on and lifted foul off to the right. 2-2 remains your count. Sun beginning to peek out a little bit here to our right. Should warm things up just a bit. 2-2 pitch. Snyder swings and hits it deep to left, way back, and that ball is gone. Larissa Snyder on senior day with a 2-run shot. And she got all of that one. That was a line shot that easily cleared the left center field wall. 3 RBIs now for Snyder. She has 34 on the season after that 2-run home run. And that ball got out of here in a hurry. Jackets now up by the score of 5-0. And here is Mackenzie Lesha to bat. Jackets now with 5 runs on 5 hits in the ball game. And here's the pitch now to Lesha, low and away for a ball. Lesha over 1, grounded out in a 5-3 scoring play, but got an RBI when Snyder came home. And on 1-0, here's the pitch. This one low and away. Makes it now 2-0 to the Yellow Jacket center fielder. Sam Swartz waiting on deck. This pitch, that's one swung on and hit deep to center field. That one's way back there, and that'll short hop the fence out in right center field. And sliding in now to second base will be Lesha. So she has the RBI double. 3 straight hits for the Jackets to begin the bottom half of the third, and that now will bring up the aforementioned Sam Swartz. Sam Swartz, who we were doing a little bit of math before the game. In her career as a Yellow Jacket, she's played every infield spot except for shortstop, and that includes pitching. And this pitch is swung on and hit on the line to Lilienthal at first. She'll grab it. That's the first out of the inning. Hit it on the nose to Swartz. But lines it right to Lilienthal. That's the first out here of the third, and that now will bring up Karen Balabon for the Jackets. Doubled the left center field and then came home on a wild pitch in the second, and this pitch is swung on and grounded outside of first foul. First base coach Stuart Goldberg with the one-handed stag on that one. Ryan Castellano was very impressed with that. I'll have to tell Coach Goldberg that after the game. This pitch is swung on and grounded back to Ocker, and then her throw to first skips by Lilienthal up the line. Rounding third coming in to score is going to be Lesha, and now Balaban will go all the way to third base. That'll be an E1 on the throw. No RBIs. Lesha comes in to score from second base. Balaban all the way up to third.
Number 6, Delaney Johnson.
And now here's Delaney Johnson to bat. She had a sacrifice, so no official at bat for her so far here in game one. And this pitch is swung on and bounced foul off to the left. 0-1 your count now to Johnson. Jackets now with a 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch from Ocker. And the backdoor breaking ball is in there for a strike, and it's 0-2 now to the Yellow Jackets designated player. 1-2 pitch swung on, hit a mile high again to center field. Coming over and making the catch is the center fielder. Now a long throw coming in and taking up and scoring. From third is going to be Karen Balaban. So another sac fly. RBI for Johnson as Balaban comes in to score. 2 out now in the inning, and here is Kylie Zwok to bat. So 4 runs on 3 hits for the Jackets now. There has been an error in the inning as well. 1-0, here's the pitch. And Zwok swings and hits it hard to third. Nice stop by Stapleton, and then her throw to first will retire Zwok. And that'll bring an end to the Yellow Jackets half of the third inning. But not before UWS adds 4 more runs on 3 hits. There was a Crown error, and nobody left aboard. We head to the top half of the fourth. Your score, Yellow Jackets 7, Crown nothing. This is UWS softball on 91.3 FM, KUWS Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. Inning number 4, Abby Mitchell's first pitch to Caitlin Garza's lined into center field, and Crown has their first hit of the ball game. A leadoff single to center. And that'll bring up Maria Lilienthal now with the Yellow Jackets up 7-0. Lilienthal 0 for 1. She popped out to first baseman Sam Swartz in the first. Garza aboard. She's 1 for 2. And Abby Mitchell now checking with Larissa Snyder. Snyder, by the way, only given up 9 stolen bases all season long. Yellow Jackets. So our stolen bases now up to 71 on the season. Found that nugget out from head coach Melissa Fracker yesterday. That teams are very wary of running on the arm of Larissa Snyder. Of course, Snyder, for the first 3 years of her Yellow Jacket career, played shortstop. There's a big arm. And once Ellie Motzel and Zoe Thompson used up their eligibility after this year, Snyder stepped into that catcher's role as this pitch is swung on and missed. 2-1 now the count to Lilienthal. And she's been playing mostly behind the plate all year long. Kylie Zwok, the freshman, meanwhile, has stepped in very capably at short. Coach Melissa Fracker likes to move her players around. Talked about Samantha Swartz, for instance, having played every infield spot except for short in her career. As this pitch is swung on and lifted foul. Swartz also has never played catcher, but was kind of a talking point before the game when I was on the field. Swartz playing her final 2 regular season home games as a Yellow Jacket. Taking over at first base this season. Zoe Thompson, again, played mostly at first base last year, so as this pitch is swung on and grounded out to second, Otto coming in. able to scoop it up. And it'll be an E4 on that play. So the first two are aboard as Garza stops at second. And that'll bring up now Itzel Valles, who walked in her first plate appearance but was stranded on first. So Crown with a little something going here in the top half of the fourth as the sun again trying to peek out from the clouds to our right. And here's the first offering. Swung on and popped up, foul, back towards us. There's the thud on top of the press box here, for those of you who might have heard that back at home. 0-1 your count now to Valles. Jackets, as I mentioned, will play their final 5 regular season games on the road. As the next offering is high, and it makes it now 1-1. St. Scholastica for 2 across the bridge over at Kenwood Field. We'll keep an eye on that, by the way. That's a grass field. So, Ryan Castaneda gave me kind of an incredulous look on that one, but that's what they're scheduled for right now, as this pitch is swung on and looped into center field for a base hit. And the throw to second, not in time. It'll be, like I said, a single to center after all that. And the bases are loaded. And Lilienthal up to second. Lesha trying to pick off Lilienthal on the short toss. It was a looping base hit to center. And Lesha tried to underhand it to second to Kylie Zwak, who had taken up at second base, but Lilienthal slid in first. And now the bases are loaded, which has prompted a circle visit now from Melissa Fracker, the Yellow Jackets head coach. But, those 2 games on Wednesday on the 29th are supposed to be at Kenwood Field. I did see the Scholastica played there yesterday. So it might be ready to play. Pretty soft out there. If they don't play those games there, I would imagine it'll be at Saints Field, which is where Scholastica plays when they can't get Kenwood Field playable. At any rate, the Yellow Jackets and the Saints renewing the bridge border, or the bridge battle. Bridge border battle, I guess. Yeah, battle, bridge battle. Bridge on the border battle. We'll just go with all of that anyway. As Brooklyn Ocker steps in now with the bases loaded. Crown with a chance now to get back into it a little bit here. As Ocker stands in, she's 0-for-1 and flew out to center field in her first plate appearance. Coming back in the second inning. And here's the pitch as the Jackets bring the infield in. Swung on and ground to foul outside of first. 0-1 your count now to Ocker. And then the Jackets with 3 games against Minnesota Morris down in Morris, Minnesota. Next Friday and Saturday, it'll be a single game on Friday and then a doubleheader against the Cougars on Saturday, leading into the UMAC tournament the following week. As the 0-1 pitch is high and away, evens up the count now 1-1. Yellow Jacket baseball, by the way, playing Crown today in a doubleheader after defeating the Polars 16-5 yesterday. They'll be back home, though, next Friday and Saturday, or it's actually Saturday and Sunday, I believe. As this pitch is check swing back to the screen, and now is 1-2 here to Ocker. And those will be games. I would assume that those 3 games are all going to be out here on both 91.3 FM, KUWS, and on Yellow Jacket TV, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I think we're going to try to do it that way, would be my guess, but those will be our next sports broadcasts here on both 91.3 and on Yellow Jacket TV, and I think that'll probably be the last maybe ones we do all year, would be my guess. That'll be the year finales. Next pitch, by the way, was high to Ocker to even up the count now at 2-2. Mitchell, bases loaded, nobody out. Jackets up by 7, but Crown trying to slice in the lead, and this pitch just missed the outside corner. 3-2 your count. So now 3-2 here to Ocker. And Mitchell. Lindsey Stapleton waiting on deck. Here's the pitch, swung on and hit out to right field. Balabon coming in, makes the catch. Now she loads up the throw home, and it was right on the money. Didn't allow anybody to come home, and Karen Balabon has a very good arm out and right. Got that one in quickly. It's a short fly out. That's the first out of the inning, and now here's Stapleton to bat. Stapleton so far 0-for-1. Struck out swinging in the second. And I kind of figured that once that ball was that shallow, the Balaban would come up throwing it home, and it was right on the money. Therefore, holding Garza at third. First pitch to Stapleton, swung on and missed, 0-1. Karen Balaban really, like I said, become a very, very good outfielder. It's also a point of conversation I had with head coach Melissa Fracker the last few days, how Karen Balaban is, like I said, really turned into an outstanding outfielder. That pitch is high and evens up the count now 1-1. 1-1 to Stapleton, one down. Garza on at third. Lilienthal on at second. Valles over at first. One out, top of the fourth. Jackets with a 7-0 lead. The Crown threatening here on 1-1. This pitch stays high, now 2-1 your count. First of two here on the day. Game two about 25-30 minutes after the conclusion of game number one here. This Jackets closing out the 2026 home schedule. This pitch is swung on and fouled off to the right now by Stapleton. And the count now evens up at 2-2. To say it was an abbreviated home slate for the Jackets this year would be a understatement. They played 3 against Northwestern earlier this week. All those games were with yours truly on Yellow Jacket TV. And they've got the 3 with Crown, and that's it. As on 2-2, this pitch is swung on and hit high in the air down the right field line. Balaban coming in, and it is foul. 2-2 remains the count here, just falling foul as Balaban came in and gave it a look. So 2-2. Still one down here. Megan Cryer would bat next here for the Polars in the fourth. As here's a delivery. Called third strike over the inside corner. 2 down now in the inning. For Mitchell, that is strikeout number 6. And that now brings up Cryer, who is 0 for 1. She struck out swinging in the second. And Mitchell on the verge of perhaps getting out of the bases loaded with nobody out jam. Here's the pitch. Comes over the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 your count. Polars have 2 hits in the inning. There's also been a Yellow Jacket error. 0-1 your count here to Cryer. 0-1 pitch. That went over the outside corner, and Mitchell's now ahead in the count 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. On the way, here it is. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Second time that Mitchell has struck out both Stapleton and Cryer. This time she does it back-to-back to end the threat for the Polars in the top half of the fourth. For Crown in the top of the fourth, no runs, 2 hits, 1 Yellow Jacket error, and 3 left aboard. We played 3.5. Jackets leading at 7-0. We'll keep it here. Really impressive job there by Abby Mitchell. For her 11th win of the season. And we flip to the bottom half of the inning as Ocker comes back out. The pitch here for Crown. We have a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle for the Yellow Jackets. It's going to be Hannah Hovland, who's going to pinch hit here for Sophia Otto. Hovland, who started her college softball career across the bridge playing for UMD. Talked about her being a Denfield High School alum. She got injured and then transferred over to UWS to play her last 2 years of college softball. And she will lead off here for the Jackets before we flip to the top of the batting order for Peyton Bennett's spot. Looks like Bennett is taking some warm-up cuts behind her. So Hovland, one of the seniors, and traditional, try to get the seniors in if possible on senior day. And talk about those 5 seniors for the Yellow Jackets. Pretty young team, actually, for Melissa Fracker for the most part. Graduated a bunch of seniors last year, but Jackets with 5 seniors on this squad.
Number 8, Hannah Hovland.
Hovland, by the way, coming in hitting .231. She's 3 for 13 on the season with a home run and 3 driven in. And Acker's first pitch to Hovland is over the outside corner for a strike. Those seniors, by the way. Hovland, who's batting right now, as I mentioned. Samantha Swartz, Georgia Youngblood. There's this pitch. It's swung on and grounded up the third base line. Stapleton came in, touched it as it was going foul, and Hovland ran it out. She's on first base. And the home plate umpire is going to rule it as an infield single instead of a foul ball. So Hovland with the leadoff single.
Left fielder number 9, Peyton Bennett.
UWS now up to 7 hits in the ball game. And Peyton Bennett, who so far has walked twice, bats, and this pitch is swung on and bounced out to short. Garza charging in, will throw to first. Nice play there, retires Bennett. Hovland up to second. 6-3 in the scoring play. First out here of the fourth, then I'll bring up Carly Stuckmeyer now for the Yellow Jackets.
To Carly Stuckmeyer.
Stuckmeyer so far 1 for 2 with a run scored in this one. Pitch from Acker. Change of pace, rides high and inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes here to Stuckmeyer, the junior from Delano, Minnesota. 1-0 pitch. Stuckmeyer squaring briefly and then playing the bat back. Pitch was low and away to even up the count now, 1-1. Here's the pitch. That one bounces up there. It gets past Baez. And Hovland now will advance all the way to third on the wild pitch. And the count is now 3-0 here to Stuckmeyer. We'll correct the count here with Snyder waiting on deck. 3-0 pitch. Stuckmeyer taking all the way, and it's ball 4. So she'll trot down the first base. And now Stuckmeyer rounding the base. And now trying to break home on the play is going to be Hovland. Throw bounces past Baez, and now here comes Stuckmeyer all the way to the third base bag, and she'll be caught there. Kind of a wild sequence there. So Crown kind of falling asleep. Stuckmeyer running off the base, went halfway home. The actual throw came into Emmy Romportal at second. And then breaking from third base was Hovland. She slid in underneath the tag as the throw went past Baez all the way back to the backstop. Hovland scores. Stuckmeyer then tries to run all the way to third, and she gets picked off there. So now they're 2 out in the inning. Hovland scores. No RBI on that one, and here now is Snyder. In the meantime, it's 8-0, and here now Snyder driving one into the gap out in right center field. Will get all the way to the fence. And Snyder now will pull up into second base with a double. And now she's just a single away from the cycle here. A homer, a triple, and a double now for Alyssa Snyder in her 3 at-bats. 8-0 your total in favor of UWS, and now here is Mackenzie Lesha to bat.
At the plate number 23, Mackenzie Lesha.
Lesha so far 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. And here's the pitch from Acker, swung on and grounded out in the left field. That'll be a base hit. Rounding third base now, coming home is Snyder. She'll score. It's now 9-0, and Lesha will hold up at at first. Second RBI of the game now for Lesha. 2 runs home in the inning.
19, Samantha Swartz.
And here's Samantha Swartz now to bat. First pitch to Swartz is swung on and grounded to third. Stapleton up with it, throws to first. And that finally retires UWS here in the fourth, but not before the Jackets add 2 more on 3 hits. There was a Crown error and 1 left aboard. We head now to the top of the 5th. Run rule in effect here. Your score after 4, Yellow Jackets 9, Crown nothing. We'll come back to the top of the 5th right after this on 91.3 FM, KUWS Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. Back here for the top of the 5th, Savannah Urbinski, Sophie Mosman, and Emmy Ron-Portal do up here as the Yellow Jackets looking to close this out in 5 innings. Abby Mitchell working on a shutout here for the Yellow Jackets. First pitch, by the way, to Urbinski was inside for a ball. Next pitch is swung on and fouled off to the right. That evens up the count now 1-1. Reminder, we'll have about a 25-30 minute intermission between the two games. We'll also have a brief post-game report. Sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Superior Refinery once we go final here in game number 1. 1-1 your count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. And it's 1-2 now to Urbinski. She struck out looking in the 3rd leading off. And Mitchell putting together one of her more complete performances in the circle this season for the Jackets. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted foul off to the right. She's actually looked very good all week, has Abby Mitchell. Gave up 3 earned runs in game 1 of the series against Northwestern, then pitched 4 shutout innings against the Eagles as this pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3, gave up 2 runs yesterday. And so far now, through 4 1/3 here, has held Crown off the scoreboard scoreless as going down for strikes for the second time is Urbinski. 8 strikeouts now in the game for Mitchell. And here's Sophie Mosman to bat, who reached on an error and then was gunned down at 3rd base. Back in the 3rd inning. First pitch to Mosman is high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out here, top of the 5th. And here's the pitch. Swung on and looped to short. Zwak comes over, makes the grab. 2 up and 2 down. And now it'll be Emmy Ron-Portal to bat. For Crown, Jackets leading at 9-0. Ron-Portal so far 0 for 2. She also struck out back in the 3rd and popped up to 3rd baseman Carly Stuckmeyer back in the 1st. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss to Ron-Portal. 0-1 your count. As Mitchell looking for win number 11 for her on the season. Kicks and delivers. This pitch is high and away. Evens up the count now 1-1. One pitch now from Mitchell. Here it is. Swung on and tapped foul back to the screen. 1-2 now your count here to Ron-Portal, and the Jackets 1 strike away from win number 19, and their 19th win overall and their 9th win in conference play. As Ron-Portal behind the count 1-2. And Mitchell kicks and delivers. Pitch is swung on and grounded out to second. Otto up with it. Now will try to win the race to the bag, and then she won't get there in time. There'll be an infield single now for Ron-Portal. For Crown, just their third hit of the ball game, and now here is Caitlin Garza the bat. Garza has one of the hits, a single in the fourth, and then took a call third strike in the first. 2 out, 1 on, top half of the fifth. 9-0 UWS in the lead, and the first pitch to Garza swung on and fouled into the mitt. Larissa Snyder for an 0-1 count. Oh, and 1 your count. Here's the pitch. Off the plate, just barely. Aims up the count now at 1-1. 1-1 pitch forthcoming here. And here it is. Swung on and lifted out to right field. That should about do it. Balaban comes in, makes the catch. And that brings a close to game number 1 as the Yellow Jackets shut out Crown here in the first game of our doubleheader. For Crown in the top half of the fifth. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left aboard. Final score of game number 1, Yellow Jackets 9, Crown nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back with our post-game report. Sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Superior Refinery. That's coming up right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Women's Softball on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. Sports Complex here in Superior. Game 1 in the books here between the Yellow Jackets and Crown here on Senior Day and UWS. Picking up what they left off last night. UWS defeating Crown here in game number 1, 9-0 by the final numbers here. Jackets scoring twice in the first, once in the second, 4 times in the third, and twice in the fifth. Or excuse me, in the fourth. 3 times in the third. Let me try that again here. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. I'm going to get those numbers right at some point. Jackets ended up 9 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors in the ball game, while Crown ends up with no runs, 3 hits, and no errors in the ball game. Getting the win for the Yellow Jackets with a complete game performance is Abby Mitchell. For Mitchell, giving up those 3 hits, scoreless in this one. She also strikes out 8 and does not walk a batter in this one. 75 strikeouts now in the season for Mitchell and counting. Her record now improves to 11-8. The Yellow Jackets with the win now at 19-13 overall, 9-5 in the Upper Midwest Athletic Conference. Meanwhile, for Crown, going all the way was Brooklyn Ocker. She takes the loss, giving up 9 runs on those 9 hits. Also had a couple of walks in there. Didn't strike out a batter. Her record now falls to 3-4 with the loss. Crown, meanwhile, 18-17 now overall and 5-12 in conference play. Larissa Snyder, by the way, would be your offensive player of the game for the Yellow Jackets. She went 3 for 3 in the ball game. A homer, a triple, and a double. Scored 3 runs and drove in 3 in the ball game. So Larissa Snyder, congratulations, you would be our post-game show player of the game here for game number 1. That's the story here after 1 game. Game 2 coming up, like I said, in about 25-30 minutes. So in the meantime, we will take that 25-30 minute break with the teams, and then we'll come back after that with the lineups and then the opening pitch of game number 2 of this one between the Yellow Jackets and Crown. So we'll take an extended break. In the meantime, 9-0 your final score in game number 1. We'll be back in about 25 minutes. This is UWS Softball on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. This game 2 action here is the Yellow Jackets taking on Crown in game number 2. Bethany Lewis getting the start in the circle here for UWS after the Jackets took a 9-0 win in game number 1. And right off the bat here, we have an 0-2 count here to Emmy Ron Portal, who's leading things off. And then we've got something happening with Peyton Bennett, the Yellow Jackets starting left fielder here. I'm not sure what's going on down there. It looks like there's some sort of equipment issue happening. So in the meantime, they'll give us a chance to set the Yellow Jacket defense here in game number 2. Bethany Lewis, the freshman, getting the start here, a native of Antigo, Wisconsin, making her 20th appearance, her 12th start of the season, 72 innings pitched. She's given up 93 hits, 43 runs, 34 of which have been earned. She's walked 13 and struck out 39. Her record 6-1, and her ERA at 3.31. And she has a 1-2 count now to Emmy Ron Portal. It'll be Caitlin Garza and Maria Lilienthal here for Crown, the top half of the first inning. In game number 2, set the Yellow Jacket defense, like I said, in just a moment here, as this pitch is swung on and hit out in the left field. That'll be a base hit. Nice job by Peyton Bennett to cut it off before it got into the gap, holding Ron Portal to a leadoff single, and she's aboard here leading off with a leadoff single to left here in game number 2. Yellow Jacket defense, Larissa Snyder is doing the catching here for Bethany Lewis. Around the infield is Carly Stuckmeyer at third, Kylie Zwak at short, Delaney Johnson playing second, and it'll be Samantha Swartz over at first, and then the outfield from left to right, Peyton Bennett out in left, Mackenzie Lesh out in center, and out in right field it is Karen Balaban, as the first pitch to Garza is a square round bunt. She bunts it foul, 0-1 your count. Ron Portal over at first base. Just underway here in game number 2, final home game of the 2026 campaign for UWS. And on 0-1, here's the pitch. This one bunted up the third baseline, and that one will roll foul. And it is 0-2 now. Matt Johnson here for game number 2. Evan Ludwig, my producer with Yellow Jacket TV for both games today. Also the Gus Bus, Gus Shupp, back at home base at 91.3 FM. He's my producer back at the radio station for both games today. We hope you enjoyed the first broadcast. Glad you could join us for game number 2, as this one is swung on, grounded out to second. Delaney Johnson up with it, throws over to Zwak, then the relay to first. To Samantha Swartz is a little bit slow. Garza beats it out. She'll reach on the fielder's choice. It'll be a 4-6-3 scoring play. Cuts down Ron Portal at second. 1 down, 1 on, and here's Maria Lilienthal now to bat.
First baseman number 18, Maria Lilienthal.
So Lilienthal steps up here for a Crown. And here's the pitch now by Lewis. Comes inside for ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Bethany Lewis been splitting time with Abby Mitchell in the circle this season for UWS. Lewis, after Mitchell went all the way in game number 1, pitched a 3-hit shutout for the Jackets in that 9-0 win earlier today. This pitch is low and away. Snap throw. Down to first base from Snyder. The tag applied by Swartz. Diving back safely into the bag is Caitlin Garza. 2-0 your count now to Lilienthal. As here's the pitch now. Swung on and bounced foul off to the left. Makes it now 2-1 to Lilienthal. Jackets going for win number 20 here in this one. And trying to sweep the Polars heading into the final week of the regular season. 2-1 now your count. Here's the pitch. Off the plate outside. Now 3-1 your count to Lilienthal. It's Ilvias waiting on deck here for the Polars. On a 3-1 count, 1 down here. Just underway in game number 2. Abby Mitchell getting the win in game number 1 to go to 11-8. This pitch just swung on and bounced fall at the plate. And the count now has been run full. 3-2 your count. Lewis for the Yellow Jackets. Hasn't pitched the last 2 games for the Yellow Jackets. In there, and now we have a timeout again. Now adjusting for footwear over at the first bag is Garza, the base runner here for the Polars. 3-2 your count here. As Lewis kicks and delivers, and this pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to left center field. Bennett ranging over. She'll make the drop on this, and they can still get the out. Lewis will pick it up. She'll throw to second, and they'll get Garza. So that'll be, I guess, an E7 and then a 7-4 scoring play to cut down Garza at second. Does that sound about right? Okay. Ryan Castaneda agrees with me. That's all I need to hear. So now there are 2 out. And it's Baez now to bat. I'm just about to say that Peyton Bennett, maybe it looked too easy for her or something. I'm not sure. She had it, and then it fell out of her glove. Still able to force the runner at second. And the first pitch to Baez is a strike. 0-1 your count. Next offering. Swung on and missed. And Lewis is ahead in the count now, 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch forthcoming now. And here it is. Low and away. Makes it now 1-2. Delaney Johnson getting the start at second base. She played second base in the game number 1 against Northwestern earlier in the week, and then was sliding the DP hole for the rest of that series as this pitch comes inside. And that now evens up the count at 2-2. So a 2-2 count now for Lewis. And here's the delivery. Swung on and bounced foul toward the Yellow Jacket dugout to our left. And we'll do it again here on 2-2 with 2 down. Should Baez keep the inning going, it would be Brooklyn Ocker that would bat next here for the Polars in the top half of the first. 2-2 pitch on the way now from Lewis. And here it is. Swung on and hit out to right field and hit well. Running back over now, and a little short hop the wall is Balaban. Pulling up at third now will be Lilienthal throwing the second, not in time, and it'll be a 2-out double here for Garza. So runners on second and third.
Left fielder number 23, Brooklyn Ocker.
And here's Brooklyn Ocker now to bat. So Crown with a threat here with 2 out in the top half of the first against Bethany Lewis. And Lewis kicks and delivers. This pitch is swung on, ground out into right field. That's a base hit. Lilienthal will score. Baez will wait at third. Runners on the corners. And Crown with 3 hits in the inning. The RBI to Ocker. As Lilienthal scores, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Polars. And now a conversation momentarily here between Snyder and Lewis in the circle as Lindsay Stapleton comes to the plate. Leading home run hitter for Crown with 6 home runs this season. Stapleton stands in here, and the first pitch is a called strike over the outside corner. 0-1 your count now to the third base player here for Crown in game number 2. She started all 3 games at third base. And on 0-1, here's the pitch. That one low, evens up the count now at 1-1. Runners on the corners. Baez over at third. Ocker on at first. 1-1 delivery on the way from Lewis. Swung on and bounced in front of the plate. Lewis up with it. She'll throw to first. And that'll be just in time to retire Stapleton on the 1-3 scoring play, and that'll bring an end to Crown's top half of inning number 1. For the Polars in the first, a run on 3 hits. There was 1 Yellow Jacket error. And 2 left aboard. We played 1/2 inning here of game number 2. Crown 1, Yellow Jackets coming up here. And we'll get a chance to set now the Crown defense here. As getting the start here in game number 2 for the Polars, it's Brooklyn Riley. Riley for Crown, making her 18th appearance, her 13th start of the season. And a third and 2/3 innings pitched. She's given up 109 hits, 84 runs, 67 of which have been earned. She's walked 43 and struck out 53. Her record 9-3, and her ERA at 5.61. And she will be facing the top three in the Yellow Jacket batting order here in game number 2. Peyton Bennett, Carly Stuckmeyer, and Larissa Snyder. In the meantime, Crown defensively will line up this way. Doing the catching here in game number 2 for Riley. As the aforementioned, it's Valles. And the infield for Crown from left to right. Lindsay Stapleton over at third base, playing at short. Caitlin Garza over at second base for Crown. Emmy Ron-Portal, and over at first base, Maria Lilienthal. Meanwhile, the outfield from left to right here. Brooklyn Ocker out in left. Sophie Monsman out in center field, and Savannah Gamowski out in right field as Peyton Bennett steps in here for the Yellow Jackets. Bennett steps in to lead things off here against Riley. He followed again by Stuckmeyer and Snyder here. As here's the first pitch. And the first pitch from Riley is high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Third different starting pitcher we've seen from Crown here so far in the series. Emmy Ron-Portal started the opener yesterday. Brooklyn Ocker started game number 1 of the doubleheader today, and now it's Riley taking a turn in the circle. 2-0 behind on Peyton Bennett. This one finds the plate to make it now 2-1. Riley working quickly here at the start. And her 2-1 delivery here to Bennett. Change of pace came inside. She falls it back to the screen. And the count now at 2-2 here to Peyton Bennett. Bennett in her sophomore campaign now. Waiting on the delivery here on 2-1. Actually 2-2. My mistake. Here's the pitch. High and away. Now 3-2 your count. 3-2 pitch up forthcoming here. And here it is. Swung on and lined foul. Actually, they're going to say Lilienthal got a piece of it with her glove. Down the line. Bennett now rounding second, digging for third. And she will have a leadoff triple here. Kind of a looping swing and a looping ball to right. Lilienthal, I thought, was going to let it go foul, but she got her glove on it. And then it fell into foul territory, therefore a fair ball. And here now is Carly Stuckmeyer for the Yellow Jackets with the tying run, and Peyton Bennett at third base. So Bennett leads off with the triple, and now here's Stuckmeyer, and the first pitch to her from Riley is in there for a strike. 0-1 your count. Oh, 1 pitch. Swung on and missed by Stuckmeyer, and the throw down the third. Bennett back in standing. 0-2 now to the Yellow Jacket third base player. So 0-2 now to Stuckmeyer. Here's the pitch. Off the plate high and outside to make it now 1-2. Marissa Snyder waiting on deck. 1-2 pitch. That one also high. Now 2-2 your count. Two-two pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Count holding now on Stuckmeyer at 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Stuckmeyer swings and grounds it right back to Riley, who then bounces the throw to first, but it's in time. And there'll be a 1-3 scoring play to retire Stuckmeyer. 1 down here in the bottom of the first, and here now is Larissa Snyder to bat. Snyder, who was a single short of the cycle in game number 1, was 3 for 3 with a home run, a triple, and a double. Had a couple runs scored and 3 RBIs in game number 1. She would have been your player of the game offensively for the Jackets. And the first pitch to her is a swing and a miss. 0-1 now to Snyder. That home run for Snyder was her 7th of the season. She now has 34 driven in on the campaign as this pitch is low and in. Ends up the count now to the Yellow Jacket catcher at 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Snyder swings and drives it out in the left center field. That'll get through for a base hit. Bennett will score. And Snyder now will come all the way into second base with the double. So a pair of doubles on the day now for Larissa Snyder. Drives in Bennett. We have a 1-1 contest. And that'll bring up Mackenzie Lesha now for the Yellow Jackets.
Mackenzie Lesha.
She stands in here, and the first pitch to Lesha is a swing and a miss. 0-1 to the Yellow Jacket center fielder. Snyder out at second. 0-1 delivery. Lesha bunts it back to the circle. The throw now from Riley bounces off the glove of Lilienthal. Snyder will come in and score. That'll be an E1 on the throw. Second time she's done that now here in the inning. Snyder racing all the way around from second, rounded third, came home, never slowed up, and she'll give the Yellow Jackets the lead.
First baseman at 19, Samantha Swartz.
And here's Samantha Swartz now to bat. First pitch to Swartz is inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Jackets with 2 runs in the inning, 1 down. 2 runs on 2 hits. There's been an error as well. Next pitch to Lesha is swung on and fouled back. Check it at Swartz. 1-1 your count. Lesha's on at first after the error. So 1-1 here to Sam Swartz. One pitch on the way. One bounces up there. Swartz taking all the way. Now 2-1 your count to the Yellow Jacket first baseman. Two-one pitch. Called strike over the outside corner. That evens up the count now at 2-2. 2-2 pitch from Riley. Here it is. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Two and two with 1 down. 2 runs in the inning for the Yellow Jackets. And they lead it 2-1 now. And here's the delivery. Swung on and lined into center field. That'll be a base hit. Lesha will stop at second. So Swartz with the line drive through the middle. 3rd hit of the inning for the Yellow Jackets. And now here's Karen Balaban to bat. Balaban for the Yellow Jackets. Talked about it in game number 1 in her junior season now from Elk River, Minnesota. Scored a couple of runs in the first game for the Jackets. Had a double in that game. Next pitch as Balaban squares around, pulls the bat back. Stays high. Now 2-0 your count here to Balaban. Stapleton and Lilienthal at the corners now playing in here for Crown. Balaban now pulls the bat back, and now she'll bunt it up the line. Stapleton up with it. Throws to first. That'll retire Balaban. Both runners move up a base. Lesha up to 3rd. Swartz up to 2nd. The sacrifice is completed. 5-4 on the scoring play, and now here's Delaney Johnson to bat.
Second baseman number 6, Delaney Johnson.
Johnson stepping in here. And here's the pitch. Low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Jackets is the team now after game number 1 with 21 home runs on the season. This one is fisted foul now by Johnson off to the right. 1-1 your count now to Delaney Johnson. One pitch. Swung on and hit high in the air to center field and deep. Going way back, having a look up, and that's gone. Third home run of the season for Delaney Johnson. It's a 3-run shot to center. And right on cue, the Jackets now with 22 home runs on the campaign. RBIs 10, 11, and 12 for Delaney Johnson. And UWS with 5 runs here in the bottom of the first, now lead at 5-1. And here's Kylie's walk, the 8th player to bat in the inning for the Yellow Jackets. And she stands in here against Riley. Here's the first pitch, swung on and missed. As walk stands in, 0-1 pitch, check swing. Aims up the count now, 1-1. 1-1 pitch on the way here from Riley. Swing and a miss. Eyes walk, pulled off of it a little bit. And that's what Melissa Fracker's actually telling me. You can hear that in the background. You got to shorten up her swing a little bit. 1-2 pitch on the way. That one high. Aims up the count now at 2-2. Two pitch now to Zwok. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Count holding at 2-2 now to the freshman Zwok. Former Duluth East High School Greyhound for the Yellow Jackets. At 2-2, and then pitch swung on and fouled back again. Count remains 2-2 now to Zwok. Should the freshman keep it going, Kylie Hochsprung would bat next for the Yellow Jackets as she gets to start in the DP position. 2-2 pitch. That one bounces up there now for ball 3, and it's now 3-2 here to Zwok. 3-2 pitch. Swung on. That's hit deep to left. But it's hooking, and that one will be foul as well. Three-two remains your count here. 3-2 delivery. And that comes inside for ball 4. So Zwok will trot down to first base with a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up now Kylie Hochsprung. 9th player to bat for UWS here.
Player number 11, Kylie Hochsprung.
Didn't see her in game number 1. She's hitting .333 in the season with 2 home runs and 5 driven in. And the first pitch to Hochsprung in there for a strike. Seeing her in a couple of pinch hitting duties here for the Jackets this week. As this pitch comes inside, she swings and fouls one off to the right. And it's now 0-2 here to Kylie Hochsprung. They have Lakeville, Minnesota in her sophomore year. On 0-2, here's the pitch from Brooklyn Riley. This one comes inside, now 1-2. 37 pitches and counting already here in the first inning for Brooklyn Riley. And this pitch, that's low. 2-2 now your count with 2 down. And Peyton Bennett, who started off the inning, is waiting on deck. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and looped fair down the left field line, or are they going to say foul? Oh, they're going to call that foul. I don't know. I thought it clipped the line. But they call it foul, so another chance at it here for Kylie Hochsprung on 2-2. 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3, and that brings an end to the bottom half of the first. But not before the Yellow Jackets played 5 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. The big blow, the 3-run home run from Delaney Johnson, her 3rd of the season. There was a Crown error and 1 left aboard. We played 1 full inning here of game number 2 of our doubleheader. Your score after 1, Yellow Jackets 5, Crown 1. We'll take a quick break and come back with the top half of inning number 2 right after this on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. Anna Gamowski and Sophie Monsman against Bethany Lewis, who now has a 5-1 lead to work with here in the top half of inning number 2. Cryer takes a hack at the first pitch and bounces it foul outside of third. It's 0-1 now to the designated player, Cryer. She came in relief of Emmy Ron-Partle in game 1 of the series yesterday. Pitched the final 2 2/3 innings. That 14-5 Yellow Jacket win. And it's 0-1 to her here. This pitch off the outside evens up the count now at 1-1. Jackets looking for their 20th win of the season. It would be 162 wins. Actually, it is 162 wins and counting now for Coach Melissa Fracker and her nearly 6 full years at the helm of the Yellow Jacket program. As this pitch is swung on and bounced to the left. 1-2 your count. WS has won 30 or more games 3 times in Coach Fracker's career. 1-2 pitch on the way. That one off the plate to make it now 2-2. She's led the team also to 3 NCAA tournaments in her career and a couple of regular season titles in the UMAC to go along with those as well. As this pitch is high and run the count now full of 3-2. She has very high expectations for this team. She always does every single year. And she'll her level of intensity is reflected in the way the Yellow Jackets play the game. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and lined into center field for a base hit. So Cryer with a leadoff single to center. Second straight inning that the Polars have gotten the leadoff batter aboard, and that now will bring up Savannah Gamowski. Gamowski, who we didn't see in game number 1 today, hitting at .302 with no home runs and 12 driven in. And Lewis's first pitch is a called strike. Jackets playing Zwak and Johnson up the middle, the 2 freshmen for the Yellow Jackets. Junior over at third base in Stuckmeyer and a senior over at first base in Sam Swartz. Lewis's pitch just swung on and bounced toward the Yellow Jacket dugout and foul. And Lewis is adding the count quickly, now 0-2. Jackets have never failed to win less than 22 games in any season that Coach Fracker's been the head coach. That was her first year. As this pitch is swung on and lifted foul up the first base line. As Lewis retrieves the ball now, and she'll step into the circle here. 0-2 remains your count here to Gamowski, the right fielder here for Crown. And here's a delivery. Swung on and bounced foul again. And the flag ball is completely limp now to our right. Jackets have hit 2 home runs so far on the day. Larissa Snyder won her team leading 7th of the season in the first game, and then Delaney Johnson, the freshman, with her 3rd of the campaign in the bottom of the first. Last inning. 0-2 pitch on the way. That one stays just a little bit high from Lewis. It's now 1-2 your count here to Gamowski. Sophie Monsman on deck here for Crown. She would bat next. In the meantime, Lewis checking with Snyder behind the plate, and here's the pitch. Change of pace, just misses again, and it's now 2-2 your count. It's warmed up nicely actually on the field here since we started the day. It was pretty chilly at the beginning, but the temperatures, I'm guessing, probably in the high 40s, low 50s at this point in time. As the 2-2 delivery now, here it is. Swung on and bounced foul again. Long at bat here for Savannah Gamowski. Lewis now on 2-2. Here's her pitch. Swung on and fouled away again. Like I said, this at-bat's getting right up there now in terms of pitch count. That's the 9th pitch. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. 2-2 delivery now from Bethany Lewis. Here it is. Inside for ball 3. Now 3-2. Kamowski having a good at-bat here for the Polars. 10th pitch of the at-bat now forthcoming on 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Swung on and bounce foul again. Eleven pitches now and counting. Three-two pitch now. Here it is. Off the plate for ball 4. So Gamowski wins the battle. She'll run down to first. Cryer up to second. First 2 aboard here in the second, and that now will bring up Sophie Monsman. Monsman stepping in now. With Megan Cryer on at second. Savannah Gamowski over at first. And here's the pitch as she squares around, and she'll bunt it foul. Bill Stuckmeyer and Swartz on the corners were charging for the Jackets. 0-1 count now. After Monsman, it'll be Emmy Ron Portal that'll be due up here for Crown. As on 0-1, squares around again. This one time will take the pitch off the plate for a ball. That evens up the count now 1-1. One pitch from Bethany Lewis. Here it is. Swung on and grounded to first. Up with it will be Swartz. She'll tag the base herself. That'll retire Monsman. Cryer moves up to third. Gamowski on at second. 3 unassisted on the putout of Monsman. And now we flip to the top of the batting order for Emmy Ron Portal. And the Jackets appeal at second. Not sure what just happened here. And Coach Melissa Fracker is going to come out now. I'm not sure what the conversation is about here. I think Coach Fracker is going to claim that she went backwards here. In the meantime, Monsman's on at first. The runner who would have moved up to second would be Gamowski. She's vacated second base. Now there's a conversation with the umpires here, trying to figure out what happened. And we'll see what they end up calling. So they're going to say that Gamowski is still over at first. This is a little bit confusing to say the least here. The player that has ruled out is Monsman on the 3 unassisted, and then now Gamowski somehow is still over at first. Not sure what happened there. Anyway, 1 out now, runners on the corners. Gamowski on at first, Cryer on at third, and now here's Emmy Ron Portal to bat. And now here's the pitch from Lewis. Check swing high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. So a bit of confusion here. I'm not sure what happened there. Want to know you're counting out Ron Portal. She's 1 for 1, singled last inning. Pitch to her, swung on and grounded out to first, backhanded by Swartz. And she'll win the race to the bag. Second straight, 3 unassisted. Cryer comes in to score. So an RBI ground out for Ron Portal. 2 out now in the inning. Their score 5-2 now in favor of the Yellow Jackets, and that now will bring Caitlin Garza, the shortstop, and reach on a fielder's choice. And is 0 for 1 in the first inning. So Gamowski now on at second. And the first pitch from Lewis is off the plate for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. It's beginning to cloud up again. We do have rain in the forecast, expected around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Hopefully he'll hold off until then. Next pitch from Lewis is a called strike over the outside corner. And we have a 1-1 count now to the shortstop Garza. 1-1 your count. As here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded out to second. Johnson up with it, fumbles it, and now she can't find it. Advancing the third now will be Gamowski. That'll be an E4 on the Yellow Jackets. And now we'll bring up Maria Lilienthal. Tying run at the plate here for Crown, top half of the second. Lilienthal reached on an error and came around to score. On the RBI single. From Brooklyn Ocker in the first. First pitch to her is in there for a strike. 0-1 your count. Lewis on 0-1. Here's her pitch. Swung on and grounded sharply past the diving Johnson out in the right field. That'll bring home another run here in the inning. RBI single for Lilienthal. Garza stops at second. 5-3 now your score, and here's Itzel Valles now to bat. And the pitch to Valles. Swung on and missed. Valles doubled last inning. And is 1-for-1. Garzon at second, Lilienthal on at first. 5-3 your score. Now this pitch is swung on and missed. And Lewis is ahead in the count now 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch on the way now from Lewis. Swung on and bounced foul off to the left. Trying to send 6 players to the plate here so far in inning number 2. In fact, 7 now. Valla's up there. Scored 2 runs so far in the inning. And on 0-2. Lewis delivers. Pitch is swung on and bounced foul again. Count holding at 0-2. Cryer led off with a single. Kamowski worked out a walk, and back-to-back 3 unassisteds. As that pitch is high and making now 1-2. Garza reaching on the air, and then the RBI single from Lilienthal has brought home 2 runs here for Crown. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled away again. Done a good job in this inning, have the Polars of battling here. Forcing Bethany Lewis to throw a lot of pitches here. In the frame, 1-2 your count. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and bounced foul again. Lewis is now up to 49 pitches here. So both pitchers having to throw a lot here so far in the first couple innings. 1-2 offering. Swung on and hit to left field. Bennett ranging over into foul ground. And she'll make the catch, and that'll bring an end to the top half of inning number 2 here for Crown. For the Polars in the second. 2 runs on 2 hits. It was a Yellow Jacket error. And 2 left aboard. We've played an inning and a half. Yellow Jackets 5, Crown 3. We'll keep it here. Yellow Jackets will flip to the top of the batting order here in the bottom half of the second. It'll be Peyton Bennett, Carly Stuckmeyer, and Larissa Snyder to bat here against Brooklyn Riley. And then in the postgame, by the way, for this one, the Jackets will have a brief ceremony to honor the seniors in this year's class. Hannah Hovland, Larissa Snyder, Samantha Swartz, Georgia Youngblood, and Mackenzie Lesha all will be honored, as will Camille Wickstrom, by the way, who left the program after last year. She's now in grad school down at UW La Crosse, and she will be honored here. So a total of 6 players will be honored here for Senior Day at the NBC Sports Complex before the day is out. It's good to see Cam before the game. She hadn't announced, actually, that she planned on leaving early, but she did so, missed last year's Senior Day, and therefore she's going to be honored with this group here today. And it was good to catch up with Cam in between games, and certainly miss her these days. She was a fun player to cover here in Yellow Jacket softball history. In the meantime, we start off the bottom half of the second. Peyton Bennett will lead things off in the first pitch. Is out to play for a ball. Bennett led off the game with a triple for the Yellow Jackets, part of that 5-run first. And the next pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen. 1-1 now to Peyton Bennett. Bennett for the Yellow Jackets. Standing in now on 1-1, and this pitch comes inside. 2-1 your count. And the 2-1 delivery. Swung on a hit very high, shallow right. Long run. And the catch will be made by the right fielder. Like I said, long run. Nicely done, though. Sticking with it there by Gamowski. She's had a good start to the game. Had a long at bat. Top half of the inning, comes running in and makes the catch. Bennett now 1 for 2, and here's Carly Stuckmeyer to bat. Stuckmeyer 0 for 1. Grounded out back to the pitcher in the first. She bats with 1 out, nobody on. Lilienthal coming in about 3 steps on the first base side of things. Meanwhile, Stapleton even with the bag at third. And the first pitch a called strike. Next pitch comes inside and low, and that evens up the count now 1-1 to Stuckmeyer. One delivery on the way. That one a called strike over the inside corner. Now 1-2 here to Stuckmeyer. One-two pitch on the way. Stuckmeyer swings and bounces it to third. Stapleton up with it, throws to first. And that retires Stuckmeyer on a 5-3 scoring play. 2 up and 2 down, and that now will bring up Snyder.
Athlete number 10, Larissa Snyder.
Snyder for the Yellow Jackets steps in. And a double and an RBI and a run scored last inning. Now 4 for 4 on the day. Here's the pitch to her. Swung on and fisted foul off to the right. 1-1 your count now to Snyder. 2 down, nobody on. Bottom half, inning number 2, game number 2. And here's the 1-1 pitch. That one comes inside now, 2-1 your count. Two-one delivery, here it is. That one up and in, and now 3-1 to Snyder with Mackenzie Lesha waiting on deck here for the Yellow Jackets. Three-one pitch, swung on and fouled off to the right, and now the count has been run full. 3-2 now to Snyder. But again, Lesha waiting on deck here for the Yellow Jackets. Three-two pitch on the way. Low for ball 4, so Snyder works out the walk. She's at first base now with 2 out. She runs well, does Larissa Snyder. And here's Mackenzie Lesha now to bat for UWS. Lesha takes a first pitch strike off with the pitch with Snyder, and she'll easily dive into second base head first with the stolen base. So she's in scoring position now. The The pitch is swung on and lined down the left field line into the corner for a base hit. Rounding third, coming home to score will be Snyder. And it'll be a double here for Mackenzie Lesha. Got a round on that one. Drives home Snyder with the Yellow Jackets' 6th run here of game number 2.
First base number 19, Samantha Swartz.
And here's Samantha Swartz now to bat. She's 1 for 1 is Snyder. Excuse me, Swartz. She's 1 for 1. Singled and scored last inning. Came around to score in the 3-run home run from Delaney Johnson. 6-3 Yellow Jackets in the lead here. This pitch swung on and missed. Evens up the count now 1-1. 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and bounced to second. Ron Portal up with it. She'll throw to first. And that will retire the Yellow Jackets on a 4-3 scoring play here in the bottom of inning number 2. For UWS in the second, there was a run on 1 hit. No Crown errors and 1 left aboard. We've played 2 complete innings here of game number 2 of our doubleheader. Your score, Yellow Jackets 6, Crown 3. Take a quick break and come back with the top of the 3rd inning right after this on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. But the Yellow Jackets get started and receive 200 points for registering and 200 more for downloading the app. Add points by attending games and uploading photos to the Crowd Cameo. Redeem your points in the Swarm Central store where you can get t-shirts, coffee mugs, playing cards, stickers, and more. Find Swarm Central in the Apple and Google stores today. As the first pitch to Brooklyn Ocker is bunted up the third base line. Carly Stuckmeyer racing in, scoops it up and throws over to Sam Swartz. That retires Ocker on a slick 5-3 scoring play. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 3rd, and that'll bring up Lindsay Stapleton now to bat. Stapleton so far 0 for 1. Going it back to the pitcher in the first, and is, like I said, 0 for 1. She bats with 1 out, nobody on here in the top of inning number 3. Jackets up 6-3. And this pitch is swung on and hit well down the right field line, and foul. Karen Balabon came over to give it a look. And it's 0-1 now to Stapleton. Third base player here now for Crown. Facing an 0-1 count here against Bethany Lewis, who begins her 3rd inning of work, leading at 6-3. Lewis kicks and delivers. Pitches inside for a ball. Evens up the count now 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Here from Lewis, here it is. That one catches the inside corner. 1-2 your count here. Lewis on 1-2. Here's her delivery. Swung on and fouled off the screen to the right. And we'll do it again here on 1-2. 1 out. Top half inning number 3. UWS with 6 runs on 5 hits thus far. This pitch is swung on and lifted foul down the right field line again. Crown, meanwhile, with 3 runs on 3 hits so far. 1-2 your count. Stapleton steps in. And here's the delivery. That one high up the plate, now evens up the count at 2-2. 2-2 pitch on the way now from Lewis. And here it is. Swung on, check swing actually. Up the middle's walk from shortstop position. Scoops it up on a couple of hops. Throws over to first to Swartz. That retires Stapleton on a 6-3 scoring play. 2 up and 2 down here in the third. And that now will bring up Megan Cryer, who singled and scored last inning. Came home to score actually on the RBI ground out by Emmy Ron-Portal. With Crown's second run of the contest. Here's Lewis now. First pitch to her, swung on and popped foul. It'll get out of play just off the top of the dugout. Crown dugout to our right. 0-1 your count now. Lewis now on 0-1. Here's her delivery. Swung on and driven out into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. She's got her second base hit of the game. So 2 for 2 for Cryer. 2-out single to right. The fourth hit of the game now for Crown, and that now will bring up Savannah Gomowski, who had a long at-bat. And it looks like we're going to get a pinch runner for Cryer over at first. Head coach Taylor Jones coming in from the third base box to make a change. That's what I'm guessing the situation is here. And so Cryer will come out. And who's the pinch runner? Cass, do you see that? That wasn't very definitive. If it is 20, it's Ava Speck.
Yes.
Okay. So it is Ava Speck. As pinch running, as the first pitch to Gomowski is fouled right over the top of the backstop and into the bleachers below us. 0-1 your count. So 2 out with Speck, the pinch runner, on over at first. Oh, 1 pitch on the way. Check swing. Good change of pace. Speck takes off. Throw down to second by Snyder, and she'll cut down Speck, who decided to try and steal. Testing the arm of Larissa Snyder. And it'll be a 2-6 caught stealing of Speck, and that'll bring an end to the top half of the third for the Polars. For Crown in the third, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom half of the inning with the Yellow Jackets leading at 6-3. UWS with those 2 games against St. Scholastica scheduled for this coming Wednesday. I believe those will probably stay on until, in case there are any changes, you need to go to uwsyellowjackets.com as usual. And then the 3 games with Morris. For those UMAC tournament matchups, by the way, of course, we'll find those out for certain after next weekend's games. You can always go to uwsyellowjackets.com as well. You can also check out the UMass Athletics webpage if you'd like to find out more. In the meantime, Karen Balabon now steps in to lead things off here in the bottom of the third. It'll be Balabon, Johnson, and Zwak against Brooklyn Riley. The Crown starting pitcher here today in game number 2. And Balabon steps in. Sacrificed her first trip to the plate and was retired on a 5-4 scoring play. Takes a first pitch strike. Next offering. It's off the plate, and 1-1 now your count. Balabon for the Yellow Jackets. Now she'll run up. That pitch is high off the plate, and it now is 2-1 the count. 2-1 pitch now to Balabon. Swung on and slapped foul off to the left. And we now have a 2-2 count. Two and two to Balaban, now leading off for UWS here in the bottom of the third. And here's the pitch. Swung on and slapped to third. Up with it, Stapleton. Throws over to first and retires Balaban on a nice fielding play. 5-3 on the putout of the Yellow Jacket right fielder. Now here's Delaney Johnson. Johnson for the Yellow Jackets, who belted her third home run of the season in her first plate appearance to drive in 3 runs, is 1 for 1. That was the big hit of that inning for the Yellow Jackets. UWS scoring 5 times in the first, and this pitch is swung on and popped up on the infield, making the catch as short as Garza. Quickly 2 up and 2 down. That now will bring up Kylie Zwak for the Yellow Jackets. Zwak for the Yellow Jackets walked in her first plate appearance and then got stranded as the first pitch from Brooklyn Riley is in their first strike. Riley has settled down a little bit since that first inning when the Yellow Jackets touched her up for 5 runs on 4 hits. As the next pitch to Zwak is low. Evens up the count now 1-1. One and one your count to Zwak. This pitch comes inside. Now 1-2 your count to Kylie Zwak. Check it 2-1 your count. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up. Foul ground and out of play. And we'll now have an even up count at 2-2. Two and two to Kylie Zwak now. 2 out here. Riley trying to set down the Yellow Jackets in order for the first time here in game number 2. And here's the delivery. Swung on and tapped foul off to the left. Count holding on Zwak now at 2-2. Two and 2 your count. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 3, and now the count's been run full to Zwak with Kylie Hochsprung waiting on deck here for the Yellow Jackets. Three-two pitch. Here it is. Zwak swings and grounds it fair inside the third base line. She'll round first base and dig for second. And Zwak with a 2-out double. She'll be in scoring position now for Hochsprung. The Yellow Jackets, that's hit number 6, and here's Hochsprung now to bat.
Designated player number 11, Kylie Hochsprung.
Hochsprung 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the first. And here's the first pitch to her now. Comes inside for a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. One and 0 to Hochsprung. Here's the next pitch. That one also low, 2-0 your count now to Kylie Hochsprung. Hochsprung should reach. We'll flip to the top of the batting order for Peyton Bennett. 2-0 pitch. Check swing, back to the screen. On the foul. 2-1 now your count. Two-one pitch. That comes inside and low, and it's now 3-1 to Hochsprung, with Peyton Bennett waiting on deck. 3-1 your count. Here's the pitch. That one's high for ball 4. So Hochsprung with a 5-pitch walk. She'll trot down the first. 2 on now with 2 out. We flip to the top of the batting order for Peyton Bennett.
Left fielder number 9, Peyton Bennett.
Bennett for the Yellow Jackets. So far 1 for 2. And that pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 your count. Has a triple and a run scored and a fly out to right so far does Peyton Bennett. This one, it's check swing. Going to call a strike. It bounces past Baez. Everybody moving up a base. Walk to third. Hochsprung to second. And it's 0-2 now to Peyton Bennett. Bennett on 0-2. Here's the pitch. That one stays high. And inside, 1-2 now your count. One-two pitch. Swung on and popped up. And it's going to get out of play to the right. 1-2 remaining your count now to Peyton Bennett. Kylie's walk on at third. Kylie Hawksprung on at second. The two Kylies on the base pass for Peyton Bennett on a 1-2 count. And here's the pitch. That one will skip away from Baez, but not far away from Baez for Zwack or Hawksprung to try to move up. And the count now to Bennett at 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Swung on and grounded to third. Up with it, Stapleton. Long throw across in time to retire Bennett. On a 5-3 scoring play, and that will retire the Yellow Jackets here in the bottom of the third. For UWS, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left aboard. We've now played 3 complete innings here of game number 2. Your score after 3. Yellow Jackets 6, the Crown College Polars 3. We'll come back with the top of the 4th. Right after this is UWS softball on 91.3 FM, KUWS Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. Fourth, we'll have Savannah Gamowski, Sophie Monsman, and Emmy Romportal to bat here against Yellow Jacket freshman Bethany Lewis. UWS leading at 6-3, looking to sweep Crown here. Jackets in the midst of a 12-game winning streak in the series against Crown that dates all the way back to 2022. Coach Melissa Fracker's only lost to the Polars once in her career. That was during her second year, in fact. And I'm just waiting now for the go-ahead from our home plate umpire. Jackets, if they could win this one, will be 20-13 on the season. As the first pitch from Lewis comes inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Gamowski doesn't have an at bat. Worked out a 12-pitch walk in the second inning. She was at the plate when Ava Speck was cut down stealing last inning, so she leads off the inning, and the next pitch from Lewis is over the outside corner. Even up the count now, 1-1. 1-1 now to Gamowski, followed by Monsman and Romportal here in the 4th. Here's the delivery from Lewis. Swung on and ground to third. Stuckmeyer up with it. Throw over to first, and that's in time to retire Gamowski on a 5-3 scoring play. And now it's Sophie Monsman to bat. Monsman so far 0 for 1. Ground out to Sam Swartz on an unassisted 3 play in the second inning in her previous at bat. As Lewis kicks and delivers for the Yellow Jackets. And the first pitch is over the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 your count. 0-1 pitch on the way. Here it is. Change of pace and swing right through it was Monsman. And now Lewis is ahead in the count, 0-2. (0-2) pitch on the way. Here it is. Swung on and ground out to second. Up with it as a second base player, that being Sophia, Otto, who's come back into the game. She'll retire Monsman on a 4-3 scoring play. 2 up and 2 down, and here's Emmy Ramportal now to bat. Ramportal so far 1 for 2 with an RBI. And the first pitch from Lewis is over the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 your count. Oh, 1 pitch forthcoming now from the Yellow Jacket freshman, and here it is. Swung on and lined up the third baseline and slicing foul. And it's 0-2 now to Ramportal. Oh, and 2 the count now. As Lewis kicks and delivers. That one stays high and off the plate to make it now 1-2 now to Ramportal. And the 1-2 pitch. Now Lewis have a timeout called as Larissa Snyder looked into the Yellow Jacket bench and dug out for the sign. Didn't get it, and we had a timeout. Now we're back to it, and the pitch swung on and grounded out to third. Up with it. Stuckmeyer, she'll throw across the diamond. 5-3 scoring play. 3 ground outs in the fourth, and Crown goes down in order. 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Jackets still leading at 6-3. By the way, fans, if you can't get enough of the Yellow Jackets, tune in to Eye of the Swarm, the official podcast of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Join John Garver and myself. Throughout the years, we sit down with Yellow Jacket student athletes, coaches, and other guests. Eye of the Swarm is available on uwsyellowjackets.com/podcast, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts. By the way, our next sports broadcast will be our final 2 sports broadcasts here on 91.3 FM and on Yellow Jacket TV in terms of the joint broadcast side of things. Will come up this coming Saturday, so a week from today, when the Yellow Jackets baseball team will be taking on Minnesota Morris in what is looming large in the UMAC conference standings. Very much a logjam at the top of the league table in that one. 3 teams came in at 9-3. The Yellow Jackets are one of them coming into play this weekend. Morris has the weekend off. They're at 11-4. The Jackets defeating Crown yesterday 16-5 in game 1. So they're now 10-3. And talking to head coach TJ Oakes, those 3 games with Morris are going to be huge games for the Yellow Jackets. Those will be our next broadcasts. Those will be a double header of games, 1 and 3:30 next Saturday. And yours truly on with the pregame starting at 12:45 or so that day. So that will be our next broadcast, both on the radio station and on Yellow Jacket TV together. In the meantime, Carly Stuckmeyer leads things off here for UWS in the bottom of the 4th. She'll be followed by Larissa Snyder and Mackenzie Lesha. With UWS leading at 6-3 as this pitch is swung on and lined into center field for a base hit. Stuckmeyer leading off the inning with a single to center. She's now 1 for 3 in the game, and now here is Larissa Snyder to bat. Who's had a heck of a day at the plate, was 3 for 3 in game 1. Had a homer, a triple, and a double. 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored so far here in game number 2. A double with a run scored and a walk with a run scored, and also a stolen base in there for Snyder as the first pitch to her from Riley is over the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 your count. Stuckmeyer over at first. Stuckmeyer 18 out of 18 and stolen bases. I expect she'll go here relatively quickly. In fact, there she goes. Pitch is low and off the plate. And easily sliding into second base with the stolen base is going to be Stuckmeyer. She's now 19 for 19 in swipes this year. So stole a base in game number 1. And Snyder now with a 1-1 count. Riley's pitch swung on, hit hard off the glove of Lilienthal into right field for a base hit. Rounding third base now is Stuckmeyer. She'll come to the plate and she'll score. So Larissa Snyder with the sharp RBI single to right. Stuckmeyer scoring. And here's Mackenzie Lesha now to bat. Jackets up 7-3. Lesha so far 0 for 1 with a double, and now 1 for 2 with a double, now 2 for 3 as she slaps one in the left field for a base hit. Snyder will stop at second. And that'll bring up Samantha Swartz now for the Yellow Jackets.
First baseman number 19, Samantha Swartz.
Nobody out here for the Yellow Jackets in the fourth. A run home on so far 3 hits. And the pitch to Swartz as she squares around, skips by Valles all the way back to the screen. Snyder moves up to third. Lesher up to second. 1 ball, no strikes. Your count now to Swartz, and Taylor Jones is going to come out now and make his way to the circle, the Crown head coach. And it looks like they're going to have a conversation here. I also have a change happening here. Baez, meanwhile, is having her equipment adjusted. Meanwhile, the Yellow Jackets huddling with head coach Melissa Fracker in the third base coaching back box to our left. Two on, nobody out, a run in the inning. Stuckmeyer led off with the single to center. Stole second, came home to score on the RBI single to right from Snyder. And then Mackenzie Lesha followed up the first pitch she saw, bouncing into left field for a base hit. Jackets now up to 9 hits in the ball game. As Swartz stands in now. And the pitch to Sam Swartz. Bunted back to the pitcher Riley. Tried to flip it to Valles at home, sliding underneath the tag, however, with Snyder. And it'll be the RBI now. On the fielder's choice, it'll be a 1-2 scoring play. Snyder comes in to make it 8-3, and now here's Karen Balabon to bat. Runners on the corners as Lesha moves up to third. And the first pitch to Balabon. Finds the outside corner. And it's 1-1 now to Karen Balabon. This pitch now bounces up there. 2-1 now to Balabon. Jackets with 5 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 so far here in the fourth. And this one off the plate low. It's now 3-1 here to Balabon. Is it 2-1? 2-1. All right, we've got our counts all mixed up. 2-1 your count. Now it's 3-1. Got a little ahead of ourselves, that's all. 3-1 now to Balabon. Delaney Johnson would be next. 3-1 pitch. Called strike over the outside corner. Runs the count full now at 3-2. Three-two pitch. That one's low for ball 4. So now the bases will be loaded. Still nobody out in the inning. And now here's Johnson, who already has a 3-1 home run to her credit here in game number 2.
And play number 6, Delaney Johnson.
That was her 3rd home run of the season, a 3-run shot, and then she also has a pop out to short in her 2 previous at-bats. And the first pitch from Riley's inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Mackenzie Lesha on at third. Samantha Swartz at second. Karen Balabon at first. And this pitch comes in now and clips. Delaney Johnson on the hand. That'll force in Mackenzie Lesha. She gets an RBI for that, does she not? That's what I thought. Lesha comes in to score. Now 9-3, Yellow Jackets in the lead. Swartz up to third. Balabon at second. Johnson on at first, and here's Kylie Zwak to bat. And the first pitch to Zwak is swung on and fouled off to the right. 0-1 to the freshman. Crown now going to bring the infield in here. And the pitch is swung on and bounced foul outside of third, and it's 0-2 now on Zwak. Still nobody out in the inning. Jackets have scored 3 times already. Won the first 2 games of this series, 14-5 yesterday. And 5 innings. Won game number 1 of this doubleheader today, 9-0, and now lead at 9-3 here in game number 2 as this pitch is swung on and pulled foul off to the left. Count holding at 0-2 now to Kylie Zwak. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back, and we're still at 0-2. Swak, who scored a run yesterday on what was a highlight reel level slide where she slid underneath the tag of Valles and actually caught the plate with the outside of her left foot. It was a nice job of clipping the plate while avoiding the tag. 0-2 pitch, swung on, hit high and deep to left. Way back there, and that is gone. Grand slam home run. Kylie Zwak. Home run number 23 for the Yellow Jackets on the season. For Zwak, it's her second home run of the campaign. And there was no doubt about that when she got all of it. So Kylie Zwak, 2 for 2 in the ball game. Also has a double and a walk. So she made base all 3 times that she stepped to the plate today. And I think that'll be it now for starting pitcher Brooklyn Riley. She's going to replace here by Megan Cryer. Jackets now with a 13-3 advantage. UWS scoring 5 in the first, once in the second. And now here's 7 times in the fourth. Still isn't anybody out. Kylie Hawksprung is due up next, but instead it's going to be Megan Witt, who is going to pinch hit. Numbers on Cryer, by the way. We'll get those to you in just a second here as she comes in to relieve Brooklyn Riley. Cryer came in relief yesterday, of course. Making her 9th appearance. 13 1/3 innings pitched, 29 hits, 20 runs, 17 of which have been earned. She's walked 6 and struck out 6. Doesn't have a record as of yet, 0-0, and an ERA of 8.93. And she will pitch now here to Megan Witt. And the first pitch to Witt. Catches the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 your count. Seven runs on 5 hits for the Jackets, and this pitch is swung on and lined out to right field. The catch is going to be made by Gamowski, and that is the first out of the inning. Now we flip to the top of the Yellow Jacket batting order, and we're going to have a pinch hitter here for UWS. It's going to be Georgia Youngblood. By the way, a belated birthday, happy birthday to Georgia Youngblood. Celebrated her 21st birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Georgia. And she gets a chance to hit here. Only been to the plate a couple times in her Yellow Jacket career, but senior day up 13-3 here in the fourth with 1 out, might as well. As Youngblood steps in, and here's the first pitch. Comes up and in for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Youngblood from Michigan. On 1-0, here's the pitch. Swung on and bounced foul by Youngblood. Known more as a reliever for the Yellow Jackets, Georgia Youngblood. Getting a chance to hit here with UWS up by 10 in the fourth. Hannah Hovland, by the way, has come out in the on-deck circle here for UWS. One pitch coming on the way here from Cryer. That one rides high. Two 1 pitch coming to Georgia Youngblood, and here it is. Swing and a miss. 2-2 now recount. Two pitch. Swung on and fouled away. I think this might be the first at bat for Youngblood this season. She had a couple last year. Okay. Castaneda telling me, Mr. Ryan Castaneda, that she's had one at bat so far this year. And this pitch is swung on and fouled back. I'm going to double check my numbers here quickly. Count holding a 2-2 into Georgia Youngblood. I've got too many sheets of paper, guys. That's my problem. Youngblood so far, 1 for 1. As that pitch comes low and in. So 3-2. And whoever said that she got a hit in that one at bat is correct. That would be Ryan Castaneda. Thank you, Ryan. Oh, Evan Ludwig gets credit for that call. Okay, 3-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and she's now 2 for 2 as that one lined into the gap out in right center field. Youngblood going to round first. She'll stay at the bag, however, and Georgia Youngblood on senior day gets a single to right. Jackets up to 12 hits now in the ball game, and here's Hannah Hovland to bat. That'll be a talking point after the game for Georgia Youngblood, the fact that she was able to go 2 for 2 in her senior season at the plate. And now here's Hannah Hovland to bat. Hovland, who came in as a pinch hitter last game, had an infield single and came around to score later in the frame. Must feel good for Georgia Youngblood. I've gotten to know her pretty well. She works in the athletic office for the Yellow Jackets, and as this pitch to Hovland is swung on and fouled back. Oh, and 1 to Hannah Hovland. Georgia Youngblood over at first. Still just the one out here in the inning. Jackets have scored 7 times already and lead it by the score of 13-3 as this pitch is high for a ball on the change of pace from Cryer. One delivery, here it is. That one's low. Snap throw down to first. Diving back head first is going to be Youngblood. She's going to be safe. 2-1 your count. Big smile on her face as she turns around to Stu Goldberg over at the first base coach's box. 2-1 pitch on the way. Hovland swings and skies one to center field. Coming out is going to be Garza, short center. She'll make the catch. That's the second out now of the inning, and that now will bring up another pinch hitter here for UWS. This is going to be Tessa Tweet who's going to bat. Oh, it's going to be Maggie Gamble.
17, Maggie Gamble.
So pinch hitter here for Maggie Gamble. Gamble, who hasn't appeared in any of the games so far this week. Makes her Yellow Jacket home debut here in the final home game of the season for the Jackets. Gamble hitting .333, 6 for 18, no home runs, 4 RBIs. First pitch to Gamble is out to play for a ball. I got my numbers confused there, Cass. Thanks. Want to know your count. Pitch to Gamble. Comes up and in now, 1-1 your count. Excuse me, 2-0 your count. I'm losing all my numbers. 2-0 your count now to Gamble. Youngblood over at first, 13-3 your score. This pitch is swung on a nub back. Now 2-1 as it's fouled back to the screen. Two and 1 to Gamble. Youngblood still over at first. 2 out now in the inning. And on 2-1, pitch is swung on and ground out in the right field for a base hit. Youngblood will hold up there at second. Gamble on at first. 2 aboard with 2 down. Six hits now in the inning for the Jackets. Now we'll get another pinch hit. It'll be Maya Anderson this time that'll pinch hit.
Pinch hitting for the Yellow Jackets, number 5, Maya Anderson.
Anderson, one of the 2 sport athletes, also plays for Bree Simon, the women's hockey team. Steps in here now with runners on first and second. And Anderson comes in 0 for 2 at the plate, so she's looking for her first hit of the season here. And the first pitch from Cryer comes over the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 your count. 0-1 pitch, swung on in line, just foul up the first baseline. She didn't miss that one by much, maybe a few inches. 0-2 your count now to Anderson. Oh, 2 pitch on the way now from Cryer. Here it is. That one bounces up. Baez with the stop behind the plate. Keeps Youngblood at second. Gamelon at first. 1-2 pitch. And Anderson takes a called third strike over the inside corner, and that'll bring an end to the Yellow Jackets half of inning number 4. But UWS scores 7 runs on 6 hits. The big blow, the grand slam home run from freshman Kylie Zwack. There were no Crown errors and 2 left aboard. We head now to the top of the 5th. Run rule in effect. Your score as of this time, Yellow Jackets 13, Crown 3. We'll come back with the top of the 5th inning right after this on 91.3 FM, KUWS Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. (13-3). Georgia Youngblood, after getting a base hit, bottom of the 4th, will stay in now, and she will pitch this last inning for the Yellow Jackets. For Youngblood, it is her 10th appearance of the season. 15 1/3 innings pitched this season, giving up 19 hits. 9 runs, 8 of which have been earned. She's walked 2 and struck out 4. Her record 1-2, and she has a 3.65 ERA. Bethany Lewis is in line to get the win. It would be her 7th of the season. As on the top of the 5th inning for Crown, it'll be Caitlin Garza, Maria Lilienthal, and Itzel Baez to bat here against Youngblood. This is mostly what she's known for the Yellow Jackets, coming out of the bullpen to relieve starting pitchers for UWS. Been doing it for 4 years now. And a couple of changes now for the Yellow Jackets. Sam Swartz still over at first base. Looks like Kylie Hawksprung's going to play third. Delaney Johnson, is she back in there now at second? Who's playing second? Okay, so Johnson's back at second after Sophia Otto came in for her. And then we've also got some changes to the outfield, it looks like. Balaban's still out in right. I think Lesh is in center. And is it Maya Anderson in center? Okay, so Maya Anderson is in center, and then out in left, is it Hannah Hovland? Okay. All right, then we've got all the changes set up here as Garza will step in the batter's box, Caitlin Garza 0 for 2 here so far in game number 2. She reached on a fielder's choice in the first and then reached on an error in the second. Both those at-bats coming against starter Bethany Lewis. Garza steps in now against Youngblood. And the first pitch from Youngblood comes low and inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. By the way, we'll have a brief senior day ceremony for the 6 seniors here for the Yellow Jackets. Youngblood will be one of them that will be honored. Of course, Sam Swartz, Mackenzie Lesha, Larissa Snyder, Cam Wickstrom from last year. Hannah Hovland going to be the 6th that will be honored. 1-0 pitch. That one comes inside from Youngblood as well. Now 2-0 your count. So those of you on Yellow Jacket TV will be able to see all of that. Also have our post-game show sponsored by Cenovus Energy and the Superior Refinery as the next pitch to Garza swung on and fouled back to the screen to make it now. Is it 2-1 or 2-2? 2-2, okay. 2-2 your count now. And Youngblood's pitch. Skip up there to make the count now full at 3-2. Crown needs at least 3 runs to keep the game going here in this inning. And the 3-2 pitch off the knob of the bat, foul back to the screen, or are they going to say it hit her? They're going to say she got hit by the pitch. And now Melissa Fracker is going to come out and have a conversation with the home plate umpire here. And so it'll be Garza down at first base and the hit by pitch on the 3-2 count. And here is Maria Lilienthal now to bat. 1 for 2 with a run scored. And Youngblood's pitch swung on and popped up. Behind second, Johnson will make the catch. That's the first out here of the 5th, and that now will bring up Itzel Baez. Baez so far, 1 for 2 with a double. First pitch from Youngblood. Low and away for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Youngblood on the 1-0 comes inside, off the plate. 2-0 now your count to the Crown catcher. Two-0 pitch. Swung on and bounced into the Yellow Jacket dugout to the left. 2-1 now your count to Baez. Jacket so far, 13 hits and 2 errors to go with their 13 runs for Crown as this one swung on and fouled back to the screen. 3 runs on 6 hits and an error. Two and two now your count. And on 2-2 now, Youngblood kicks and delivers. Pitch is swung on and grounded out to short. Zwak go to second for 1. The relay not going to be in time. So Baez will reach on the fielder's choice. It'll be 6-4-3. 2 out now as Garza's cut down at second, and that'll bring up now Brooklyn Ocker here for Crown. And now we're going to have a pinch runner, it looks like, for Baez. And we'll see what comes out of the Crown dugout here. It'll be Brenna Tyson that'll come in, and she will run now for Baez with 2 down. Saw her as a pinch runner yesterday as well. Ocker stands in now against Youngblood, and the first pitch is swung on and missed. Ocker so far 1 for 2 with an RBI. 0-1 your count now to Ocker. Jackets an out away from getting the 3-game sweep here on Senior Day. In the doubleheader sweep for the day. 0-2 now your count as that pitch from Georgia Youngblood found the outside corner. 0-2 with 2 down. And a runner on at first, and here's the pitch. That one high. 1-2 your count. 1-2 pitch forthcoming now from Youngblood, and here it is. Swung on and hit well to right, but hooking well foul as well into the bog near the parking lot here at the MC Sports Complex. And we hold at 1-2 now. 1-2 now to the left-handed swinging Ocker. Tyson over at first, and here's the pitch. Swung on and tipped just foul now the glove of Larissa Snyder. So we'll have at least one more pitch, much to the consternation of Brian O'Connor next to me here. Thought that was going to be it, but he just rubbing his head there in frustration. 1-2 pitch, here it is. Swung on tap foul again. It's okay, OC. Everything will be fine. 1-2 remains the count here. I understand your frustration, though, if that makes you feel any better. 1-2, here's the pitch. That one high and off the plate, now even up the count at 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way now from Youngblood. Here it is. Swung on and grounded foul outside of first. And we hold now at 2-2 with 2 out, top half of the fifth. Again, we'll have our post-game show sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Spirit Refinery once we go final here in game number 2 of our doubleheader. Here's the pitch now from Youngblood. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Georgia Youngblood closes it out for the Yellow Jackets, and they sweep Crown in 3 straight, including 2 here today on Senior Day in Superior. Final score here of game number 2, Yellow Jackets 13, Crown 3. We'll take a quick break and come back with our post-game show sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Spirit Refinery. That's coming up right after this. This is UWS Softball on 91.3 FM, KUWS Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network.